Please forgive. Too many mind.
Too many mind?
Mind
Watch that
school.
thing, son.
Mind
Watch that.
people.
Let him go, Andre.
Mind the enemy. Too many mind.
Yo, yo, yo. What's good? It's your boy Supreme Excellence One and Dre. And this is Samurai Kennel's first Shogun Speaks episode. What's good, Brother Supreme?
Man, what's good, man? Blessed to be here with the brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can see we got Supreme Man, Casino Life Prayers in the building, man. And I'm gonna come up with new thumbnails, y'all. And Supreme and y'all just so y'all know this is a brainstorming session. Brother Supreme is one of my shoguns, and he's received his shogun name. So he's a brother, and I want to share this with everybody, man. So I'm gonna start making the thumbnail. I'm gonna have 3 different thumbnails, y'all. I'm gonna have thumbnails for pre-recorded. It's gonna be the same one every time, so you can know what you're gonna get based upon which thumbnail I put up. So if it's a Shogun Talks episode, it's gonna probably be something to do with a samurai, the man, right? The man. If it's gonna be more of a dog related or a dog competition show, it'll be one with a dog, a very, very fit looking dog on the thumbnail. And then if it's one of my pre-recorded shows, it'll have more to do with the episodes that we put out. That way, because everybody doesn't watch the show for the same purposes, but you'll know based upon which thumbnail I put up what the topic is going to be about, and that makes it very easy to decipher what information you want to inject into your mind, right? Because everything you listen to, it seeps into the subconscious, man. But for this talk right here, Brother Supreme, man, I've been watching the news, man, and I seen a lot of things that was concerning me as far as me as a person, right? And before I get too deep off into my story, man, I just want to give you a little snippet of kind of what's going on. As far as the dogs go, y'all know my main source of provider for my dogs is my primary job. I'm active duty military in the Air Force, right? And that allows me to provide for a family of 8 as well as 2 dogs, you know. But as my side hustles, I use this what a little bit I'm able to generate from social media, Lyft, Uber, and DoorDash to make subsidiary income to not only be able to provide for my family, but have a little bit extra, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so today on the news, man, I seen 2 things that really concern me. And the first one that I saw that really concerned me was in Vegas, they're now testing these robot cars that have no driver. And for everybody in the rideshare industry, if you do the rideshare industry, which I know that it's a lot of people without education, and when I say without education, I don't mean they're not smart. I mean without degrees. They do that as a way to make extra income. That may be coming to an end here in the next 5 to 10 years because of the advancement of AI. And I'm not going to hate on the AI, but I do want to make you aware that if you're using these things to provide a means to an end for your family or your dogs, that is something that I'm very concerned of. That being
Time
said, I'm gonna pass the mic
shit
over
eventually.
to my brother Supreme.
Yeah, man. When I started welding back in 2015, I never thought that a robot could weld, but then I actually seen some of the processes that they did allow robots to weld. So they do got some look, but it's some technical difficulty shit involved in that where they can't handle. So thankfully, AI can't take welding all the way over. And I know good and damn well AI can't take the military all the way over. So I I'm glad my job seems secure, but shit, I'm gonna go be a veterinarian tech. I
Yeah,
said shit, I might as well go be a vet tech and still well, and then the bulldog community can goddamn it if they got the most serious problem and they ain't trying to let that motherfucker leave up off their property shit. Send for me.
yeah. As far as the bulldog community, man, I'm just slowly distancing myself more and more because what
Yeah.
I offer is contradictory to the bulldog community, man. And I done stirred up some smoke, man, and it's gonna be some backlash for it, but I'm not gonna keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Like the last thing I need to do is keep it going. There's enough drama already created for me not to be adding to it when there's so many positive things to be going on right.
Right.
Also, this channel is no longer a a specific breed channel. If you got a dog and you train, you do competitions, you do any of that stuff, man, I'll talk to you. You can come on here, man, and I promise you I will not allow somebody to bash you in my chat based upon you talking about the dogs. Now, as far as people's personal lives and things like that, man, I tell you what, that's what these Shogun talks are about, because everybody, some people don't care about what you do as long as you got good dogs, right? And from the Shogun talk side of it, we're about building better people, and then on the Samurai Kennel side of things, we're talking about building better dogs. And my overall like platform here is to do both. Like, we want people with high integrity, people that stay above the mess, and I haven't demonstrated that lately, but these Shogun talks are a way for me to get back to what I'm about. And that's what I'm gonna do. And like I said in the last one, I was telling young brothers about starting YouTube channels. One of the things you got to do is you have to find your tribe, your beehive, whatever it is, and develop that. Shouts out to my sister Faith Wooded, man. Salute to you, and I appreciate everything Voodoo Hog Doggers has done for my kennel, and everything Voodoo Hog Doggers has done for the hog hunting world. It's not often you and Yuki Stirrup are about the only two ladies I see really, really like just showing y'all getting in there and jugging that hog and doing that pest eradication, man. I want to say thank you for that. Thank you for that, because those are some messy animals. Pitwise Kennels in the building. Salute, big dog, and brother Mike Dan. Salute, man. Salute to everybody in the chat, and salute everybody who listens to this later. So for those of y'all who got in here late, man, we were talking about how my little side hustle of Uber and DoorDash might be getting put on the sidelines. And that's one of the ways I provide for the digital dog shows, and that's how I put money up to be able to provide for these competitions, man. And
Well,
it's
brother
just,
Dre,
what's up?
we've been doing it long enough to the point where uh the participants should be held accountable even more. They should sign something and put forth some money. So the grand scheme of things could be a little bit larger. Because even though, like you said, you had extracurriculum activity to put forth some money for the digital dog show, and I've seen nothing but greatness come from it. Even though we had the little bullshit here and there, I feel like we at the point now where we should start. I mean, we should have some entry fees now.
Yeah. But and this is the thing, Supreme. So we did a monetized dog show, and it produced very well. But the issue is with me bringing in other breeds. I'm no longer trying to compete with a singular breed. I'm going up against the big dogs now. I'm going up against AKC, UKC, Westminster, and my dream is never to have been to be limited to one dog. I've raised my old yeller dogs, but if you compete in my show, I want to be able to go up against everything. I want to be able to take that chocolate lab and go up against that American Pit Bull Terrier, go up against that Alpha Blue Blooded Bulldog, up against that Chihuahua, and each one of my shows, instead of having classes of best buckskin, best brindle, it'll be the best pit bull that selected on my channel will go up against the best chocolate lab selected on my channel versus the best Chihuahua, and may the best dog win. You know, and I also for my members, I'm asking my members now, because I personally prefer letting the crowd vote on which dog wins, and I'll tell you why I like the crowd vote versus the judge. One, every judge has a preferred breed or preferred look within the breed that they like, and everything that I bring to the dog game, and I want to share this very, very clearly today. Every competition that I bring is based upon other things that I've seen be very, very successful. When I was a kid, between the ages of probably 8 and 16, American Idol was a big thing. And people being able to call in and pick the winner made them buy into the winner. You know what I'm saying? Like, they felt like they had a voice, true democracy. And so that's why I like the ability for people to get in and vote. Salute to Elion Roblox 13. Welcome to the channel, man. And look, man, let me say this, bro. I don't know if you're trolling or not, but your sexuality should never be a question over here, because the thing is this: I'm not going to ask you about your sexuality, but once anything you put on the internet, you're opening it up for opinions to be given on that, right? So if you're serious and you just ask that question earnestly to see what my political views on it was, is this: if your overall mission is to provide a better life for your family and for your community and to build up those around you. I don't care who you sleep with personally, because I got my family and I know what my family is about, and I'm secure in my family, and you need to be secure within yourself, right? But like, if there was a gay dog trainer that had really good dogs, he could come on this channel and be interviewed. I'm not going to ask him about being a gay dog trainer. I'm going to ask him about what can he teach me about these dogs that I don't already know.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Um, Now, as far as political agendas, I don't have none. This is a grassroots movement. The only things I like is guns, dogs, and when I retire from the military, weed. And when I say weed, I don't mean just smoking it. I mean I want to have a brand of my own that is organically grown that reminds me of the weed that existed back in the early '90s that was not genetically modified in a lab, but was grown, and you just got a good batch.
God.
That's the things I'm interested in is holistic stuff, man. And I don't do the bullying thing. Like, once again, being active duty military, my job is to provide everybody with their bill of rights and to protect those civil liberties that everybody has, man. So I'm not going to judge you over here, and you don't have to apologize, man. You don't know me, and this is your first introduction to me, and I just want to make that abundantly clear, man. Salute to RB Lone Wolf as well, bro. Salute to K Walk. Howdy and much respect to you, bro. But what I do want to start doing is, man, I got to bring my community we're building here, the Neo Dogman movement, the Shogun Army. I got to bring. I have to be more accountable for my behavior. And so the things I want to talk about over here are, as far as building people, better people, is the things that affect different people. And for example, I always talk about my military career because that's my life. From the age of 18, I've been enlisted in the military. So I've spent more time in the military than I spent as a civilian. That's my life. So if that bothers you for me to talk about that, then obviously you're not my kind of person, because you're not going to listen to somebody's background. Also, I live in heavily populated areas where I can't have large yards of dogs. So I don't speak on having a large yard of dogs. The most I've ever had at one time is 6. But for those of y'all who have had a large yard, what might affect you is this thing called eminent domain. And what's happening is the population is growing so large that the government can basically come in and annex your land. So even though you properly own the land outright with the deed to the land, the government can say, hey, we're going to come through here and build a highway through your land. We're going to offer you this amount of money. And if you don't take it, we're going to just take your land. That's a thing, you know.
Did they do that to one of the brothers?
I don't want to tell you a lie. I don't have specific individuals that it happened to. I just know I learned about that in civics and economics back when I was in high school, bro. You know, back in high school, I learned about eminent domain. And if the government says they need to annex your land for whatever reason, they can do that. They will offer you a stipend, but if you choose to not take that stipend, we can just take it. You know, so it's not a your civil liberties can always be encroached upon, and the goal is to mentally prepare you for whatever is coming. Because I don't say it's an individual person doing it. I just say with the growth and development of the country, the lifestyle that we live is changing. I remember before there were cell phones, um, that
I wonder if that land that they trying to take, if it had crop on it, would they have to pay you for that crop also in the land?
so they give you an amount. They give you an amount, and the amount they give you is typically not worth the what is it called, the capital gains of whatever property it is they taking. They're gonna assess it based upon the land, the quality of it, this, that, and the third, and they're gonna give you a nominal price. Typically, it's never gonna be what you is. There's never gonna be a price that you would think is worthy for you to sell your property for you to let that property go. But you do
Right.
better to take that money and invest it in something else than to say F it and still get it just rolled over anyways. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, for all
Seen
my for all my land owners, protect yourself, man. Protect yourself very well. Shouts out to
it.
Elevate Kennels in the building. I
What's the
put the link
most fertile land down there? But why you at? Like the most fertile land?
here in Arizona.
Yeah.
So in Arizona, believe it or not, northern Arizona actually does have some farmers and things closer to like the Utah area and the Flagstaff area and areas like that. There are places where there are farmers here. Where I'm at, there are still some ranchers down here, down south, close to the Mexican border, but There's not a lot of agriculture here. The soil is just too much sand and dirt. It's not really a healthy soil, and the temperatures don't bode well for outdoor growth as well. You know, but as far as
Y'all get a limit on how much y'all can water y'all grass. Like,
yeah,
cause
but
I seen
we'll
some
have
people.
ordinances. But I had those in Texas. There was times in Texas where I couldn't wash my car. Because of the water ordinances and things like that of that nature. So
Mm,
yes, sir, 100%. You know, um, but you become resilient and you learn to live where you live at, and that's another thing I wanted to articulate too, man. I see a lot of arguments happening in the chats, and while I'm not going to talk about somebody's background, typically when you're bringing your credibility or something, uh, let's just say example. I've lived in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Arizona, and Texas, right? And each one of those terrain, and depending on what part of the state you live in, I'm from southeastern North Carolina. I got brothers that live out in the mountains. Our terrain and climate are completely different. So when I'm giving you my perspective, and I hear people say, if you don't like this, you could do this, that, and the third, and I'm like, that may work for you and the ordinances that are lawful for where you're at, and but that may not work for me. And yeah, man, shouts out John Denver to NC. But like even Supreme where you're at, okay, here my local ordinance is there's a tethering law in my city, in my county, Pima County. The entire rest of my state can lawfully use chain tie outs. So when brothers here I'm in Arizona and they like, well, why aren't you using chain tie outs? It's because the knuckleheads that be the powers that be in Pima County said you can't lawfully use a chain tie out. The dog can't be on a chain tie out more than 8 hours, and they have to be supervised. And now,
mm,
what they don't say is how they have to be supervised. So when I put my dogs on my cable tie outs in my backyard, typically for feeding and cleaning out their kennels, my entire yard is surveilled by cameras. They are supervised. You know,
right.
so it's be in compliance with the law, but understand all of your rights and privileges for where you are at.
Get them loopholes. Find them loopholes, y'all.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And then see, my sister Faye said she avoids living in the city and anything with restrictions or HOAs. As of right now, being an active duty military member, I don't have that civil liberty because they can move me at any time. So my goal is to be as close to the base as possible so that I can get out and go to the base when I'm told to go move. That's a freedom that I gave up. And so it's just, man, understanding each person, each man and woman's life. You you can't judge or tell another person what their situation is, or even what their cultural beliefs are, and think that you're correct in every situation. Shouts out to the brother Welsh, Kennels Combine and
Oh,
Building
yeah.
Stupid Dog.
Yeah, we'll never. You still referring? Yeah, a person's lifestyle. We'll never. Let me give y'all a little background on me. Some shit I never told nobody, well, not the Bulldog community. My dad was a Marine stationed in Fairfield, California, married to my mom when I was born. I was born on the Marine base, so I'm a military baby. But my dad fucked up, got kicked out the Marines, and my mom said, "Fuck you," and my mom became a lesbian. So me being raised by a lesbian from Memphis was not what you think. This is the most roughest, toughest, will put the fear of God in you, 5'7" woman in the world. And I had some gay uncles. It was like a gay gene in my family almost. Had a gay uncle, my mama gay. I had a bunch of gay cousins and shit. So growing up, I seen how people make fun of gay people and I seen how people treat gay people. But then I also realized that they wasn't fucking with no gay person that they felt could fuck them up, put you on your shit.
Yep.
And I learned them my family members, especially my uncle, you wouldn't even know he was gay. You see
Yep.
what I'm saying? So that whole gay thing, I don't get too fussed about that shit, man.
My uncle was gay, and my little cousin used to try to mess with him and stuff. And he'd tell him, "Boy, I've been with more women than you'll ever be with." So, and like you couldn't tell he was gay. He had a big, huge beard. Like, I mean, like, dude, he was. He talked a little fruity, but man, he was cool as shit. Like I seen how people try to mess with him over.
Yeah,
Sad
and
as hell.
I heard a story. I don't know how true this story is or not. I don't. I
Who?
don't. where I got it from. I don't know if it was a YouTube video or article I read on one of them forums or something like that.
I didn't know who you was for a second. The names wasn't popping up.
But there was a story about about a historical match that occurred, right? And I'm using this for educational purposes. No dogs trained, bred, or sold for any legal purposes. But I do want to share this story because I thought it was weird. But that bullying and picking on stuff, man, it can go sour. And I was told that, or I got the information. I don't know where. I can't cite the source, but I was briefed that Jocko ended up getting confiscated because he ended up being sold to a gay man, and they were picking on him at a show, at a match, and he ended up killing the guy, shooting the guy that was picking on him, and I came to understand that that's how Jocko was lost to the world, you know. And so I don't know if that's true or not. If y'all know the story behind that, if you know the details, please correct that, because I don't want to put out falsified information. But that's my understanding, and that's what I believe happened, with Jocko. And so understanding these things, man, it's like, I wouldn't just say like with the whole homosexual community, but I would say with any community, when there's a person bully, even those kids that did the Columbine thing, there were indicators, most active shooter, and we in the military we call it active shooters. Most active shooters are triggered, and the one active shooter that I knew personally, I know that within our unit, those guys picked on him to no end, right? They picked on this guy to no end, and when he finally started killing people, he he took out people. He had targets in his mind. When he
Mm.
came in shooting, he had targets in his mind, right? He knew exactly who had done what to him. He had a list, you know, and there were very few innocents that were actually killed. They might have been injured, but there were very, very few innocents or people that had not troubled him that were injured in that active shooter incident, and this happened in North Carolina when I was stationed at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. The kid's last name was Thurrer. You can
Yeah,
look
I
it up.
remember hearing about that.
Yeah, he actually ended up
Was that
killing.
at Bragg or was that at
This was at Seymour. This was at Seymour Johnson.
Seymour? Okay.
Yeah, and his last name was Thurrer, and I remember him. He was a crew chief. He worked on we had launched jets to over to Djibouti, Africa together, and I've never been the type to pick on guys just because they're a little different or awkward. But when he started going through his stuff, man, I didn't even feel in danger when Thurrer was, when they said Thurrer came out and started, he ended up killing his son, was his junior, and leaving him on 701 outside of Whiteville, North Carolina. And I was like, man, that's crazy. Like I was just, we just crewed a jet together, and this guy, he murdered some people. You know what I'm saying? And but I never picked on this kid, and it's just crazy how just a small act of kindness can really affect
Well,
can really.
like why has picking on people and downgrading people become the new that's normal? Like
Man,
that
look,
shit ain't normal.
when I was younger, the growing up in Chicago,
Hmm.
the few weird kids that was weird to us, if you look at them right now, the best life, the best women,
Yeah,
the
successful.
whole 9 yards, are successful.
Yep.
And let me clarify this too. I'm not saying go out and be that weird individual. What I'm saying is
Yeah,
in,
no. We're not promoting being weird individuals. But
They were
individual.
just being themselves. They wasn't being weird. We just
Yeah,
using the word
that's what I
to
was
be
getting at.
used.
Individuality should not be a cruxus or a crucifix that you have to die on.
yeah,
And with the Shogun Army and the movement we're going on, man, it's about better people. And so my little brother, right? I'm gonna use me. My little brother is my we both nerds. Like we both watch anime and all kind of stuff. But my little brother's chubby, and we're what you call ghetto twins. My daddy was a Rolling Stone, so my little brother and I are the same age, right? And because we have different mothers, we don't look alike. So you wouldn't know we were brothers. And his name is Christopher Williams. My name is Andre Williams. So in high school, I'm a scholar athlete. So I don't fit in with the nerds because I'm a jock. So at the lunch table, I don't know how y'all schools were set up, but at the lunch tables, the basketball team and the football team, the baseball team, we kind of had our own tables out in the atrium, and everybody else kind of sat,
yeah.
close to the lunch tables, right? And so my little brother, you know, he sat with his friends, and they played, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever they were playing, you know, and I watched Yu-Gi-Oh with him at home, but I didn't fit in with his clique, and he didn't fit in with my clique, to the point where you wouldn't even know we were brothers unless we told you. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, uh, if he ever needs me or if I ever need him, we got each other's back. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a we're trying to hide each other. It's just, bro, if I come over there and I start talking basketball, none of your friends know the 3-point shot is. You know,
Right.
if
And if a motherfucker get the fuck on one of y'all, they don't know that. You got the kinfolk right here. You don't even notice my kinfolk. You, you finna get choked out, drugged into an alley.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man, let me give a shout out to some more people that came through the chat, man. So, brother Allwood, Kennels of the Carolinas, brother Crockett is in here, man. It's some great people in here, and my little brother,
Yeah, sure
MJ
enough
Morgan.
funny ass in here, boy. Sure enough
Show
funny.
enough in the building, man. Salute, show enough. Yes, sir.
I thought I was a handful. And then he showed up out of nowhere. And then I'm like, wow. I'm like, let me take a back seat. Maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe I should take a more peaceful route in 2025.
Hey, y'all. Let me. I got to give a special kudos, man. The brother MJ Morgan in the chat down there with y'all. That's my little.
Salute.
That's my younger brother, right?
Oh, that's
And
your younger brother?
yeah, and I give you an example, man. MJ is one of the most creative people I've ever met. He's the one I told y'all the story about. He came over and watched me. We were putting in speakers, and we tenting windows and putting in speakers, because we don't go to nobody. We do our own speakers and tents and stuff in the hood, right? And MJ came over with me. We was living on Beach Street in Goldsboro. Beach Street. It was cheap rent. You know what I'm saying? And so Beach Street is the hood. And MJ
I
comes
think
over.
that's a Carolina thing.
Yeah, yeah. And MJ comes over. He watching us put in these speakers. The next thing I know, he's at the high school charging people to put in speakers, and I'm like, man, I've been doing this for free, and he done, he done capitalized this on this idea. And also MJ's been with me from day one with the dogs, man. When I was breeding blues, MJ was over there, and he came over to my other apartment I had over at Sandy Creek, and I had a dog that I didn't think would do anything, and he walked up on the dog's name was Kanye, and MJ walked up on Kanye, and he said, "Man, Kanye bowed up at me, bro. I didn't know what was going on." I was like, "These blue dogs," So shouts out to him, man. Shouts out to him, man. He's helped me take care of more dogs than anybody else that I've had on my show, man. And I just want to
Shout
give
out
my
to the little bro.
also, my little brother, I'm a master sergeant. I'm an E7. There's only 2 ranks above me on the enlisted side. My little brother said, "You know what, Dre? I'm not coming in. I'm not coming in as a private. I'm gonna come in as a lieutenant. You gonna salute me." So shouts out to my brother, who is actually Captain Morgan. Okay, that's an Army captain y'all talking to in that chat right there, man. That's my
Ooh.
you know, and I'm proud of him. And guess what?
Yes, sir.
The day he commissioned, I love my little brother so much. I got to brag on him. The day he commissioned, I used to ride with a street crew in North Carolina called North Carolina Street Riders out of Wilson, Goldsboro, and Greenville. And MJ in high school, I let him take I had an Impala sitting on 22, so he took it to his prom, right? And he fell in love with how we used to donk out our cars so much that when I went to his commissioning ceremony with the Army, right? This brother is a commissioned officer in the Army, right? He said, "Bruh, you got to go check out my car." And I go outside, man, and he had a Grand Marquis. I think he might have been sitting on 24s with his beats in the trunk. My little brother has held the culture down even after I left, man. And even as a captain in the Army, my little brother is still representing how we grew up, man. I love you, bro, and I'm proud of you. And I just want to say that public salute,
Salute.
salute.
Yeah, Dre. When you done with the service and you get your weed brand, man, like you gotta grow in me, man.
Yeah,
Don't
I know, man. And it's a lot of y'all, man, that grow and y'all have learned. And I'm gonna be a student. You know what I'm saying? I will be a student. You know what I'm saying? A student, because what I don't want is, even when I was before the military, and this is on my enlistment paperwork, that I used marijuana before joining the military. When my recruiter came out, I told him, I said, I use weed because I was scared they was going to do a hair follicle test on me. So I use
Yeah.
weed. This is on my paperwork. This is why I'll never get a top secret clearance. Never. I'll never have a top secret clearance. But I also
Damn.
never worry about them doing a follicle test on me and finding out I did a drug that I didn't say I did before I joined the military, right?
right.
And so before I joined, I smoked Reggie. You know what I'm saying? And I can speak of this because it's on my public record.
Right.
I smoked Reggie, and the one time I smoked loud, it was some chocolate Porsche, and I was so high I couldn't function. And I ate. I was at my friend. I was just gonna use his street name, Ratchet. I was at my friend Ratchet house smoking with him, and his niece had a box of Girl Scout cookies. I'm talking Thin Mints and them little Samoas. And do you know I ate $120 worth of Girl Scout cookies off of that damn chocolate Porsche? And I said, man, you know what? Whatever this is, I don't want this because regular weed just makes me want to eat Funyuns and hot dogs. Pause. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we went through a whole box. I'm talking, you know what I'm saying? You get a box of Girl Scout cookies with all the boxes in there, man. And yeah, man, salute to that Ratchet, man, for letting me eat up that $120 worth of cookies. My mama had to pay for, you know. TXRC Noob, salute, bro. Welcome, welcome.
Shit, I'm down here in the garden right now. Shit, I would throw it on here, but I'll wait till the members only.
Yeah,
Gotta get
yeah.
my membership back too.
And I do want to elevate it and Supreme. I want to cook on anything else because I was going to talk about the membership stuff too,
Well,
man. Give some
remember how
kudos
I
to my
told
members.
you I'm near Cherokee, the Eastern Band Cherokee Reservation?
Yeah,
Weed's legal there. They can buy it. They got a store there where they're selling it. It's completely legal.
Mm.
But if you cross the hill with it, they're gonna bust your ass. So,
yeah,
and our cops openly said that.
They
But
just be
I just
sitting there
thought it was cool.
posted.
Well, I mean, if you're in Cherokee, you can sit there on a creek bank and smoke it, and there ain't nothing they'll do about it. Like even say if I went over there, I could buy it, go fishing, and smoke the whole thing, and then come back empty-handed. As long as I'm not driving, they can't bust me.
Shit. If you catch big enough fish, you might as well triple wrap up the weed and slam it in the fish.
yeah, man.
My papa was fishing one time, and he had one fish over his limit, and the game warden walked away to get somebody or on the radio, and my papa stuck one fish down in the other fish and told him to count them again, and he got away with it.
Hey, man, I was fishing on the banks of the Neuse River in Goldsboro, and I caught probably 6 brim. The fish I like are brim, right? I like panfish. And
Hmm.
I
Let's
don't.
see. Let's see if you really like Brim. Continue the story.
Okay, so you can catch blue cats and channel cats in the Neuse often, but they're dirty, you know.
Right.
So I wouldn't eat those. But there was a cat, and I don't know if he was wild. He had to be not scared of people, so he had to be a stray, but he wasn't wild. And I was just throwing the fish high up on the bank, because it's I pretty much slid down my Smith and Wesson pistol that I take me with me fishing was covered in mud. I probably couldn't have even fired it. And I'm throwing these fish up on up toward the road, because I didn't have no stringer or no bucket to put them in. I was just gonna throw them in the trunk in the bed of my truck when I left. Do you know this cat ate every one of them fish before I could get back up the bank?
Damn.
Ate
Oh, he was on a
every one of them.
mission. That's the reason he wasn't scared.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, man. He was tearing them fish up, bro. And then I caught
I
her that same day. I caught a cooter, but he didn't eat that. And a cooter for those of y'all who don't know, a cooter is what we call turtles up in North Carolina, man. And well, some of us do. I'm real country, so we call it cooters, but that's just turtles, man.
Oh yeah, we'll catch a turtle and we'll have him sitting up on the bank, and my mama taught me how to fish. My mom is a fishing guru. Taught me it, and my grandpa out of Chicago too, but more so my mom. I ain't been fishing since like 2020, and when I was in Memphis. But what your brim do when you pull it out the water?
My brim.
Yeah, what action is it taking as your is it pissing?
So if it
I've
is, I
seen them
don't
do
know.
that.
All I know is the brim that I've caught, they were thrashing, and water's dripping off of them. But I don't know about the pissing, man. All I know is
I've seen them do it, and I've also seen them do it as you pull the hook out of them. They piss.
Mm,
yeah.
okay, that's how you know that motherfucker game.
And so
Hmm.
the brim specifically, because brim is a categorization of fish, right? But the specific brim I like the most are bluegill, and bluegill are super aggressive. When I go fishing for bluegill, I don't even use worms. I take string cheese, and if you catch them while they're bedding, they're so aggressive that
You
they
got
will they will attack. I've thrown a empty hook in the water and caught a brim before.
you
You know,
using a fishing rod or you using a pole? Using
I'm using a pole. We
okay, yep,
a
yep, yep.
buster is what we call it where I'm from, a brim buster, and it's
Okay.
a long cane pole, with some string on the end, no bobber or nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, and it's if you catch them during spawning season between April and June, man, they're so aggressive when they're bedding, man. You can just whip them right out of the water,
I I promise you, you can. I like them brown. I like them crappie. Now the
Yep.
thing about the blue cat in Tennessee and Memphis, the yellow cat we don't eat those, but the blue cat, they don't be at the bottom. They be like 30%, 40% the way down. So we had this one place in Memphis, Germantown, called Snake Lake, and it had cottonmouths all around that motherfucker. So you had to be. We never brought the dogs with us because we ain't. But you had to watch what you was fishing because it was cottonmouths, and my mama be pulling them. Now look, if me and my cousin catching all the fish, my mama gonna be like, all right, I'm ready to go. But if, but if she catching all the fish, we not talking about we ready to go. We just trying to find. We might walk goddamn half 2 miles away from you to go find another spot. But man, y'all got me missing fishing, man. I'm finna. You know what?
yeah.
I got a boat. I got an old tracker. It ain't even that old. I got a tracker boat at my grandpa's house. I'm finna go get that motherfucker.
If you like, if you like fishing on YouTube, the guy to check out the deer meat for dinner,
Yeah,
he's
man, I love that
awesome.
channel, bro. Love that
Yeah,
channel.
dude, he's awesome.
Yeah, the only thing I want to learn from
His
him.
his videos will be bringing a tear to your eye and shit. Sometimes grown men be tearing up because of his videos. They're
MJ
pretty
Morgan
good.
don't like crappie.
Hold on. Let me get to this real quick, because Sister Faith says she like I call him crappy. I don't call him crappy. I call him crappy. Maybe that's just my country ass accent. I don't know, but I like those too because that's another panfish that we
Nah, that's how we say it here too, Dre.
and
Crappy.
there's another fish called a croaker that's very similar to a crappie, and you can catch a lot of those right under the pier. And she says the catfish, she used the catfish and feeds them to the dogs. That's a great source of omega threes, and I agree with that. And that's why I feed sardines, because I think the dogs need fish in their diet. Personally, brother Allwill of the Carolina says, "Give me that bass." And I'm gonna tell you right now, brother Allwill, I ain't never caught a bass in my life. Never in my life have I caught a bass.
I caught one.
I've seen them swim right past my hook.
Man, they're fun, especially a good size one. They're a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
It seems like they're smarter than most other
We
fish.
have a lot of rainbow trout, brown trout, speckled trout, brook trout up in the mountains. The
Oh,
brook
y'all got
trout are only
buffalo?
high up.
Y'all
Huh?
got buffalo out there?
No, I'm in North Carolina.
Damn, y'all ain't
I'm
got buffalo. Damn,
no
they got
we
buffalo in the
we got
Arkansas
white-tailed
mountains.
deer, coons, possums, coyotes, red wolves.
Pumas,
Yeah, we got pumas,
I ain't fucking with
cougars.
no
We call them
puma.
cougars here, mountain lions.
I ain't fucking with none of that.
bobcat.
Yeah,
I fuck with a
bobcats.
bobcat. I heard stories about them being big enough to knock you down, but shit, I'm 220, so I ain't.
I'm not gonna lie, bobcats are so smart. Typically, you're not gonna see them.
Yeah,
Um,
no, you won't see them or a cougar
mm-mm.
at all.
Mm.
um, brother Jeffrey Francis says red belly. I'm not familiar with the red belly. I have heard of a sunfish or a shell cracker, and they have a red. They're a perch, or that's what it is. That's what it is. Perch is the family they all fall under. Uh,
Yeah.
perch is the family brim, and all those other fish fall under. But whether y'all know that, the piranha is actually considered a type of perch as well.
Huh.
Um, but yeah, man. Shouts out to Kyle, the Cane Corso guy, man, in the building. Kyle, I'm gonna ask you why I got you here, man. I would love for you to come through and educate me on the Cane Corso, because I don't know a lot about him, and I know that just like in the American Pit Bull Terrier world, there's a lot of drama. But if you're willing to share your knowledge over here, I promise you, in my chat, you will not be disrespected. But I would also like to have some Cane Corsos in my digital dog show, and go breed against breed, So if you're the only Cane Corso guy, you will be the best in breed for the Cane Corso, and then you'll go against the best in breed for the American Pit Bull Terrier and whatever breeds we have, man. And spread the word to the other communities that this is a dog channel. This is a dog channel. MJ said, crappy is nasty. Mofo will have a ring in his stomach. Hey, check this out. Also, man, with the bass and some of the other bonefish, I don't know how some of y'all eat them fish. I think some of y'all eat the bones. Like my uncles, I think they eat the bones out of the fish, man.
Nah, I can skin a trout. My papa showed me how. That's who I learned how to fish from. I can skin a trout where there's no bones in it at all. I promise you can sit there and eat it and you will not find more.
Yeah, yeah, man. TXRC Noob says, I can't. I haven't put my boat in the water in 2 years. You can't. Uh, you can't much of the that word. It gets messed up. I don't know, y'all. Sometimes you type it in, and YouTube has the worst autocorrect feature of any of the apps. But
Yeah,
much of what is in the water around here. Oh, you can't eat much of what is in the water around there. But he likes brim and he likes crappie for the
I
pan.
wouldn't eat much of what's in the water around here for a season or two because of the flood. Honestly,
Yeah,
it's all contaminated. All of it ran together.
I
Murky
look.
water, clean water. So it's gonna take a couple years for that to get cleaned out.
But elevated. I love when it flood. Okay, down where I'm from in the Waccamaw River Basin, right off the Cape Fear. We have a lot of gators and we have a lot of crawfish. But when the hurricanes come, what'll happen is the estuaries will overflow. And I kid you not, in the ditch in my mama's front yard, I used to take, and I can't make this up. I used to take a pot, like we have old pots and stuff that's just outside. We use them for dog slops and stuff. I could take that pot with a little bit of dog slops and drop it in my ditch, and I would tie a string to it, right? Just some old twine, and I can leave it in there for about 5 or 10 minutes and pull out enough crawfish to have a boil. No kidding, bro. No kidding.
This flood up here was so bad that like there really ain't no you wouldn't have seen no good side to it like that type of this type of flood like they had freezer trucks full of bodies. They're not talking about this shit anywhere you'll find about it, but they had like freezer trucks full of bodies, like because they don't know what to do with them. Our morgues are full everywhere. Like it was crazy.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Like
sir.
they had rescue dogs dying because of the contaminated area that they were looking through to find people. I mean, it was like severe, and the media's really downplayed the shit out of that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, man. And elevated and supreme. I need y'all to say a prayer for me. I put in for a reassignment to Florida. The application closed out last night. I would know by May if I got selected. And the one thing my wife and I discussed was the dogs, because Florida has a lot of hurricane flooding. And so what we've already decided is the minute we move, we're getting us 2 pontoon boats. For the family, if we ever have to, evacuate, our family will have 2 pontoon boats to put the dogs and we're not leaving our dogs behind, man. So I just want to put that out there, man. That was literally a discussion my wife and I had yesterday. We're gonna have one pontoon boat with supplies, and for my wife and kids, we're gonna chain them together, and we would get the family and the dogs out of there.
Which part of Florida would it be? If you're northeast, you might be better off than like lower, like north towards Miami. Because I mean, you're for sure gonna see flooding then. But like northeast Florida, you might not see it as much. You might like that might be a really good plan. Pontoons and get you a fan boat. If you get a fan boat, I'm gonna come ride that bitch.
Yeah, well,
Florida ain't far.
so but you got to think, for me, I will be going to a base called Tyndall Air Force Base if I get selected for this job, and that's in Panama City. And now back in 2018, 2019, they flooded so bad that that whole base had to evacuate. And 1/3 of that base actually ended up stationed with me in South Carolina. So I know it floods there, and but based upon, and my brother MJ just texted me, I can't check it right now while I'm live, but I will.
What's your number of dogs gonna be up to there when you're
Uh,
when
as
if
long
you
as I'm
have to
active
deal
duty,
with
I
that?
never have more than four. As long as I'm active duty, I'll
Okay.
never have more than four, because I'm not. I in my first 10 years, I gave up lots of dogs because I was not prepared for what the military was going to put me through as far as moving me to places where they have like breed ordinances and all that stuff, man. And I ended up having to give up. I ended up having to give away dogs with papers on them because they were moving me to a place where I couldn't have them. And that's why when I retire, I'm gonna be one of the biggest advocates for, if you are stationed on a military installation anywhere, the breed of your dog should not matter, because it is a requirement by your job to move places. And right now there are 77 breeds that are banned on base. If they weren't banned on base, I would live on base. But yeah, man, I think that is a complete fallacy that we're fighting for all these freedoms and civil liberties for people, and the dog that I love, that I've had since before I joined the military, can't go with me. I think that's absolutely absurd.
Shit, well said.
As long as you have four though, that's manageable in that type of situation. As long as you got good crates and four is definitely manageable.
Yeah, man. Because also another thing that I would do is if I get stationed in Florida, y'all gonna see my dogs turning. They're not gonna be hog dogs. They're gonna be iguana dogs.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. They'll pay
Because,
you.
I mean, you could let them get anything that's an invasive species.
Yeah,
And they have such a problem with invasive species in Florida that, like, they won't care.
yeah, man. And
They're going to be like, thank you for killing those.
I got to get the brother Welsh on here to do an interview. Welsh, I think when we do the interview, I think I'm gonna do a pre-recorded because the brother Welsh, I never broadcast any private conversations I have, but the brother Welsh has had some private conversations with me that if he's willing to share, I would love for him to give his perspective on it. And but like I said, we would do it pre-recorded because when I do interviews, man, I don't want it being distracted by a live. Interviews. I think they should be pre-recorded. And then if the person wants to come on and answer questions on a live later to elaborate upon something they said in an interview, that's the way I would like to do the interviews, man.
Yeah, brother Welsh, that's a good brother right there.
Yeah, man. And he's taught me some things, man, that I would love to share, but the way I would share them would be allowing him the platform to share them, and we would just pontificate and speak on it together.
Right.
John Denbury, yeah, you're for real. Everything is contaminated.
Yeah, man. Um, but
He the
also, man,
reason. He the reason my dog looks so good. Well, half the reason that motherfucking all natural dewormer. Whew, that's some good shit. Let me tell y'all a story. When I moved up here with my girl and she had the man biter that I had to earn the trust of, which is another story. Uh, and this dog eats his own fecal matter, so that disturbed me. And I seen the discharge from him eating that, and I seen some stuff, and I sent that same picture to Welch, and he was like, "Whoa!" And I hurried up and put that order in. Shit, it's about time me to put another order in. So for all y'all that want some all natural dewormer that works great, have your dog looking superb, y'all hit that brother Welch up, man.
yes, sir, yes, sir,
Oh, you
and
hit him up on Facebook?
yeah, yeah,
You know?
Okay.
and he hunts, man. And let me get this out there too, man, because my sister Faith, she hunts. Any of y'all that are hunters, man, as far as the Shogun talks, man, we don't have to just talk dog on here, man, because this is the truth. Okay, I'm in Arizona, right? In North Carolina, I have buddies that have land that I can hunt on. There's the Spalding Game Preserve that grew up around. And there, with the guns I got, I would have taken a whitetail every year for the last 10 years if I was in Carolina. But moving state to state, for example, here in Arizona, I want to say there's 36 zones you can hunt in. And even if you win a tag, I might win a tag that's 6 hour for a county or a zone that's 6 hours away. And I'm not gonna lie, most of my hunting I did prior to the military would be considered poaching, right? Not because I was out there like just killing animals and selling the carcasses, but I would be on a family member's land with no tag and take whatever animal I took, right? And there's no proof to this. You can use it as fictitious information, but those who understand. And I'm putting this information out there not to incriminate anybody, but to share with. I don't want to do that. I want to understand what my lawful rights are as a hunter here in Arizona. And yeah, you can say there's websites for it, but I don't understand half that shit they be talking about on the websites, man. I can read it all day and Google what the words mean, but at the end of the day, I think what I'm gonna have to do is get a person from the Department of Agriculture, and a person from the Department of they don't call it the DNR here. I forget what they call it, but I'm gonna have to get one of those guys on here and interview them so that we can have an understanding. Because one thing about poaching is this: if they catch you poaching, they can take whatever vehicle, weapons, and any equipment you had used.
And a $250,000 fine, I believe.
All of that, all of that, man. And so building better people is making sure that we understand our privileges. Also understand why there are bag limits on animals. When we came to America, right? When whatever your ethnicity is came to America, there were bountiful animals that are no longer here because there were no regulations on keeping the herds healthy enough to reproduce for the upcoming year. So understanding that, you have to understand there's a bag limit so that everybody can get their piece. If you take two deer in a season with a family my size, that'll last me the whole winter. But if everybody goes out and takes as many deer as they can, the herds can't repopulate and replenish fast enough, and in 10 years you got an endangered species. So I definitely, man, definitely want to put that out there, man. That we
In
you
my area, the seasons are split up. There's bow season, there's muzzleloader season, then there's rifle season, and I think that helps limit what's killed in a certain amount of time too. Because I mean, sometimes you do have like property management. I think there's some leeway with property management. You see a deer that's got a sickness, you can shoot it, like stuff like that.
yeah, like
Like people, it's
yeah.
I, all them rules. There's tons of gray areas. Seems.
Yeah, man, and to see the brother right here, TXRC Noob says he'll be sitting down and having coffee with a game warden. Man, I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. I've had the game wardens come up with me. They didn't even ask to see my fishing or hunting license. They basically just want to make sure that I didn't have them. What is it called? When you take like a stick or something, you put a string on there, and you put them all out along the bank and leave them out overnight, and you come back and they'll be covered in catfish. I forget what that's called, man, but
Putting
I
out
never even.
stringers.
What's that?
Putting out stringers.
Yeah, stringers. You know what I'm saying? And like I would have never known it was legal
I
because
believe that's what
I've
it's
gone to
called.
my fishing spots and seen them out there, and I was like, man, that was a good idea, and would have done it had I not been educated that you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, trot line, yeah.
Yeah, my papa's an old hillbilly. He calls them stringers.
Uh, I'll give you another one that people don't know. In residential areas, I put out traps for raccoons and squirrels, and all the animals my dogs dispatch are considered residential pests, right? And I only had one video where I caught a squirrel in a squirrel trap in my yard, but the squirrel was actually damaging electrical wiring in my on my property, right? So I put some peanuts and some syrup, some maple syrup in a squirrel trap and caught him, and I let my dogs dispatch him because I was like I was gonna take him out anyways. That's not as humane as shooting it, but my dogs are hunting dogs in my opinion, and I felt like that was a good chance for them to work the natural instinct, right? And
Well,
then
like there's got to be a line between what you can consider as training one to hunt, and you know what I'm saying. Like
yeah,
everybody acts like you can train one to hunt without using an animal already. Like, come on now.
yeah, it's
I
ridiculous.
mean, yeah.
But I also did an episode where I showed myself after they mangled this animal. I gave them their shots to deworm them because a lot of squirrel cats have fleas and other things that could affect the dogs. So just proper animal husbandry, y'all. Let me preach that while I'm telling the story. But I skinned the squirrel. I made a video of me skinning the squirrel. I froze it for a week to kill some of those. I think they call them warbles that squirrels have, if I'm not mistaken, right? And I wanted to freeze all the internal and intestinal parasites out of the squirrel, and also I gutted it too. So like it would have to be a bloodborne parasite because I pulled out all the guts and stuff when I was cleaning out the squirrel, and you know, and I quartered it out and I gave it to
I'm
my
gonna
dog.
undo the water pipe. Oh,
What's up? Oh, okay. And then
I
it said,
thought it was muted.
Sister Faith says, it's hard to find places in East Texas to hunt with dogs. They aren't about their deer here, and too many people are saying that they are hog hunting and taking deer. Yeah, hey, that's another thing, man. That's another thing, bro. Uh, I got buddies, and like I don't agree if it's right or wrong, but growing up, I didn't see nothing wrong with it. They would spotlight a deer without a tag, but they wouldn't take the whole herd. They would take a deer on their land. Let me say this too: own private property, posted. Growing up, it was nothing to see private property. Trespassers will be shot. Beware of dog and dangerous dog on premises. It was clearly marked, and even the sheriffs had to have a warrant to come on that property. You know, um, I don't see those kinds of properties anymore. But they would spotlight a deer and they would feed.
Up here, they got that purple spray paint, the color of like my shirts and stuff I use.
Yeah.
It'll be spray painted on a tree, and that means no trespassing.
See, I wouldn't have known that, bro. See, thank you for educating me on that because where I'm at, they'll take cable, they'll run cable all around their property, and ever so distant, 300 yards to 100 yards, whatever. It says posted, no trespassing. Violators will be shot. It says that, and to step over that cable, you gotta know you're stepping over a cable. There's a cable there for a reason. I don't need to put up no fence.
Well, you got to be Billy Badass step over that cable or know
Yeah,
something
yeah,
somebody else don't know.
a lot of people hunt ginseng out of season up here, so a lot of trespassers are shot at a year up here. Not gonna lie to you,
Yeah, man.
ginseng is like a huge thing up here.
Hey, do you know anybody? Y'all know anybody that farm minks?
Mm, I don't personally.
What do you mean, like the little animal?
Yeah, that they make coats out of.
Joseph Carter, the Mink Man's the only dude I know that fools with them.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I damn near want a couple of them motherfuckers. Not to make no cast out of them, but I just seen them. I'm like them little black, little nice looking look. They like gigantic little squirrels or some shit. I don't know. My girl ain't gonna let me have this. She like dogs. She like dogs, and the limit is five.
yeah, man. And but I think, man, no matter how many dogs you have or what animals you do, man, that way of life is being encroached upon in its entirety, man. We say it's just about the dogs, but it's not. Like the self-sustainment movement in the world is being hated upon, and this is my biggest argument for that. The same people will tell you not to go out and hunt and not to take these animals will go to the store and go to Costco's and buy 40 pounds of ground beef. Where do you think that comes from?
Exactly.
you know so it's not about being right or wrong. It's about being realistic, man. And realistically speaking, bro, I go to the store and I'm a Walmart yellow tag millionaire. I literally go into Walmart because from 8 to 10 is supposed to be the sensory hours at Walmart, where basically there's a bunch of old people in there shopping, and I shop with the old people, and I get my chicken livers and my beef livers and my chicken feet and my chicken beaks and all kind of stuff straight from Walmart. And like I only buy yellow tag. If y'all don't know what yellow tags is, man, yellow tags at Walmart is reduced meat because it's coming bad. But I'll freeze it and saying and keep my dogs fed up good, because it's meat that I would eat, pause, but it's human. It's still being sold for human consumption. You know, it's that level of quality. But yeah, man, I just wanted to
I think it's like intended to cook within 24 hours or something,
yeah, yeah, it
if
is.
not frozen.
But think about this: if you cook
When you
that
freeze
food,
it, that stops that.
but when you cook it, it also stops that because once you cook it,
Yeah,
if you don't eat it all, it's gonna be leftovers. So like that's
you could can that shit, and it would probably
yeah.
last a long time.
And see, I don't know about canning and jarring, but that's another thing I
It's
need.
simple, simple.
Got to learn how to do that, man. Sister Faith says she used beware of dog signs. They say your dogs are dangerous. I use dog on premises, and they can sue for a dog bite even on
I
your.
agree with that too. I use the dog on premises, not beware dog signs.
Yes, yes,
Beware dogs, like insinuating that you know your dog's dangerous.
yeah, yeah.
Dogs on premises is just like, hey, I have dogs.
And brother Welsh, All Will had asked about your stuff up in the chat, man. All Will is also on the Samurai Kennels. He's a brother of mine too. He's been on the channel as well. For any of y'all interested in contacting brother Welsh, man, if you can't find him directly, brother Welsh is also a follower on the Samurai Kennels Facebook page. Brother Welsh, if you don't mind just posting your product on the page so that anybody who's interested in supporting you can go on there and support you directly, man. And
Buy that shit.
yeah, get that support his product, man. You have
How
somebody
many
here that's
dogs does it do?
good question, brother Welsh. Can you give us about for one of
Well,
your
shit. I bought £100. I bought $100 bag. I said £100. I bought $100 bag, and I want to say I bought that. I bought that not last year, but the year before last year in the summertime, and I got two dogs. So
Okay, so it's
yeah,
lasted a long time.
and I still got some left, but
You
it's
do it
time
once
for
a
me to
month?
re up once a month.
Okay.
You know.
and
Oh yeah.
brother Big A, he just came in, he went back out, but brother Big A will be in here too, and he'll elaborate on some of that stuff too, man. But yeah, and also for hog eradication, man. Shout out to Faith Witted and Voodoo Hog Doggers, man. If y'all need some hog eradication done, or you want some knowledge on getting involved in the hog eradication business, man, she's who I would go to. Her, MKM Bottom is another one, man, that I've talked to personally, and these are the people that never make me feel stupid for asking noob questions. They never make me feel stupid for asking noob questions, man. They just give me they give me the straight raw and uncut detail about it, man, and I really appreciate that.
People trying to downgrade you for asking, honest questions is just an insecurity that person has. Makes them feel big, like they really know a lot of shit. Like it's just drop real knowledge. You ain't gonna have no like I don't know you. It don't hurt just to share knowledge with people.
Yeah, because Sister Faith took
If
a
you
hog.
share your knowledge, you could push somebody in like a bunch of directions just with one little piece of knowledge.
She posted a video of a hog last week, right? And her dog's taking that hog. And I'm not gonna lie to you, there's not a single hog that she's posted that I even would have thought about putting my dogs on. And that's just because I'm in that regard, she can call me a pet owner because she does this as a living, as a way of life. I want, a little small sow, or what I'm saying, something I know my dogs can handle, because it's not a business for me. I would want to take the pig, butcher it, and make sure that my dogs have they can eat off that pig for months to come. Welcome, brother Big A, to the panel as well, y'all.
Hey, what's happening? Hey, man, I was knocked out, bro.
All good,
Yeah,
man. All good.
yeah.
Man, I'm coming out of the hospital from yesterday, man. I had a surgery, and I'm about to take my Percocets. My wife made me some, so it's legal, it's lawful, it's prescribed me, but I'm gonna take a Percocet here on the show, not because I'm trying to get high and promote the use of control, nothing like that, but
Shit,
but
cause it's a real one. That motherfucker is actually real and not goddamn it man made. You know some of them perks. See, watch one of them young motherfuckers buy a perk out the hood and tell them go on to drop that in the thing, a cap of water, and watch that motherfucker get to sizzling and percolating like it ain't supposed to.
yeah, man. It's but
hmm
I'm gonna let y'all know right now, man. I got 6 kids, man. I'm not in a life or death, man. I had a damn vasectomy, man. So my nuts is hurting. Man. I'm just keeping it real with you, man. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? So
man,
Yeah.
they
yeah,
fixed Dre.
yeah, man,
No,
yeah, man. I had too many litters.
retired stud. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't had too many litters, man. This last one was bigger than what I expected. I said, I fuck that. Yeah, man. It's all good, man. But and for those of y'all on the panel, man, my wife can hear y'all, man. Shouts out to the wifey for babying me, man. She got me laid up here with ice on my nuts, and she
Well, I told my girl that you had that surgery. She like, and I asked, I'm like, man, how long do that last? I'm like, do that last a long time? And she was like, don't you get to thinking about nothing until I drop me a load. I'm like,
yeah.
damn.
Hey, look, let me tell you. Let
Mhm.
me tell you something. Hey, man, they don't put you to sleep for it either, bro. And I have been telling everybody I was gonna get everybody on the team I was gonna get nitrous oxide. I got in there yesterday. Then the doctor said nitrous oxide. My TRICARE covered the surgery and it covered my aftercare, but it didn't cover the nitros. You know what I'm saying? So I got in there. That motherfucker said $125. I said I'll take this. I'll just take the fucking pain. Just you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I just fucking cut me. And
Yeah.
Ooh, you're braver
Damn.
than me.
Yeah, I swear, boy. Boy,
Yeah.
boy. That's like that's like a woman having a baby without the the epidural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, look, I be like, you a strong woman. I won't ever disrespect you ever again.
hmm
Big A,
Yeah,
how you
man.
feeling today, brother?
Hey, I'm all right. All right.
That's what I
Yes,
like to hear.
sir. Yeah,
yeah.
man.
But so Big A, I
Yes,
know
sir.
I surprised everybody with it, but so I decided to do the Shogun talks to kind of split it up. We got the building better people side of the game, and then we
hmm
got the Samurai Kennel side to build better dogs, man. And I'm gonna
Okay.
have 3 different thumbnails. We have our pre-recorded show thumbnail. It'd be the same thumbnail every time. Our Samurai Kennels, where we talk about the dogs,
hmm
the all dogs, and for dog shows, and that'll have its own thumbnail. And then these
hmm
show talks for people to just talk about building better people, man. And
Okay.
I'm actually surprised. I was surprised we had more than 5 people in here to listen to us talk about just people and life.
Yeah.
That really uplifted, man. And I really want to say thank all of y'all for that, man. And oh, Sister Faith said, "Oh, I had a tubal after my after my fourth kiddo." Hey, let me tell you, man.
Yeah.
These income tax checks be looking good in the mug, man. But that sleep at night.
Yeah. That's for real.
But brother Big A, so far we covered it. We talked about fish. Um, crappie versus crappie. And I don't like
hmm
I don't like how you say pecan down in Texas. And
Yeah. No, it's pecan. It's pecan, not
well,
pecan.
we have to.
And it's caramel.
And see, I say caramel.
I
You know
say
what I'm saying?
caramel. I say
Yeah,
pecan
Hey, y'all
too.
remember that movie with Denzel Washington, the debate team movie?
yeah, I remember
Y'all
that.
gonna have us on here talking like that in a minute.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big A, man. We were just on here kicking, man, and we even talked about I put in for reassignment, to Florida.
Hmm.
Hopefully, I get that. Y'all say a prayer for me that I get that because I do want to come back east. I could be a lot more involved with everybody if I came back east, man. The West Coast, I promise you, the one thing I've learned about Texas and beyond is it is really hard to visit your friends living out west. On the
Yeah.
coast, I can be in 5 different states in one day and actually spend 2 or 3 hours in each state hanging out with a buddy and still make it back home before the next day hits. I
Yep.
North Carolina to South Carolina from where I live in 45 minutes in South Carolina. Another hour and a half I can be in Georgia, and another 2 hours I can be in Florida. You know,
Yeah.
and if I hit VA first thing in the morning, I can hit 5 states in one day and be at
Yeah.
in locations, man, having a good time, man. I can't do that out here, and not being able to fellowship out here just kills me, bro. It
Yeah, and I
Hmm.
mean, well, you can travel all the way to like Louisiana, and it's only 11 hours. But then you travel from there to Houston, Texas, and it's like 13 hours. And that, I mean, I believe it's ridiculous the way it is out there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not learning what I could be learning if I was back east. You know, bring I would have litters, and I wouldn't mind taking them in the woods with the hogs if I could have big litters and I could afford to let a dog run its course in the woods and not be worried about losing the only dog I got. Um,
Yeah.
but right now, man, these
Get you a
have
tracking collar, and you can let them do anything you want.
yep. And I told y'all, man,
Yeah.
find a tracking collar. They're too expensive. I'm putting an Apple tag, an Apple, what's the things called? An air tag. I put an air tag on my dog's collar. My wife already done got me the little things ordered where you don't even have to change your collar out.
Well, the only thing that's good about like a tracking collar is they have indicators on it. It'll let you know when they're running, when they got something treed, anything like that.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's the biggest difference. It'll alert you what it's at.
Okay.
I've
I
ran
never
with
knew that.
Garmin's. I've ran with up to 5, 6 Garmin's running at the same time
Yeah. Yeah.
with walker dogs.
I seen a guy that got some they're not greyhounds. I think they might be whippets. And he hunts coyotes with a man and he does it. They got a truck with a daggone button. He can push a button, and when he pushes the button from the cab of his truck, it opens the gates. And I mean, I'm gonna have to show y'all that video, bro. These dogs take off, and I mean they literally hawk the coyotes down and grab them and hold them.
Yeah.
Never seen nothing like it, bro. But if I had some dogs like
I know YouTube don't do good with that type of content. Where is that TikTok or
it's on
Instagram?
YouTube. And what I'll do is when I have these conversations, man, on our community pages, I'll start sharing them because there's a lot of things we're missing. With all the arguments I got into, I got away from talking about good dogs, man. I've gotten away from talking about good dogs. And yeah, we're talking about building better people, but like these are the kind of people, man, with all these arguments and stuff, we're never gonna get them to share that knowledge of how to get into something that's to me is just that phenomenal. Uh, and that's why we have to build a better community where the trade of information is free because he never has to worry about me encroaching upon his business because the amount of money he spent to build that trailer like that, to build that trailer and the land and the contracts he has, he don't have to worry about me encroaching upon his business. But I do think it should be elaborated upon and just show how cool it is, man. Because it's already on YouTube, and I just think, man, like that's crazy. Or like how Sister Faith and MKM Bottoms and the other ones that hunt hogs, man. Like I am in awe of people that do those things, man. In awe.
May 17th in Maggie Valley, I'm gonna go to the Plot Fest and I'm gonna show a bunch of that stuff on YouTube
Yes,
about
yeah,
the plot hounds.
yeah.
They
Uh,
do an annual like it's just a big plot convention. People has dogs there and all kinds of stuff. It's right in Maggie Valley at the fairgrounds. I'm gonna go and show a bunch of stuff. Hopefully
Another
people
thing that
can.
I seen is because I've seen some people talking about it before, but there's an annual Bay Dog competition. I don't know. I think it's in East Texas, and they just have the Bay Dogs. They release a hog into a pen and see which dog can bay the hog the fastest.
I'd love to go to that.
Yeah, man. I mean, bro, it's so much, man. We're missing out. I'm missing out on being able to really talk about dogs because I've limited myself to a singular niche. And I watch everything. I watch everything, man. And like I'm telling you, it's channels with 3 viewers, and I'm probably one of them. Because I want to see what I want to do and what I don't want to do. And I'm not gonna lie, Sister Faith has really, really made me realize that I'm not running through them Texas thickets with them damn hogs that she be getting because she's built different than I am. Man. I'm telling you right now, Sister Faith got more balls than most guys that I know, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll go to Afghanistan again and get shot at, for 6 months before I run into them woods like Sister Faith does after some of them hogs that she goes after, and ties them up and does all that stuff, man. I'd rather get shot at by the Taliban than catch some of the hogs that she's caught. And I don't think that makes
Yeah.
me or her any greater or any lesser than each other. But that's the kind of people I want to be around, man. People that are lifestyle people. Elevated, you the same way, bro.
Well,
Elevated.
like, something we need to look into is what all states is it legal to catch pen hogs in?
Yeah,
I mean, that's the best way to test your dogs to see if they'll do it. Then you can take them and put them in the field. A lot of people want to do the test first. I mean, it's hard to send one out to war if you don't know if it's going to go to war.
yeah. And
I've
also,
tested my dogs on hogs. I put them up 9 months old on them, one that was probably double its weight, and it done great. But like, it wasn't in a catch pen, so that's the
Hmm.
only thing I would have liked better. It's like because it's more controlled. So that's something that people need to look into. Find out what all states, and make sure we just know that as a community. That way, people don't get in trouble.
well, I'll tell you this right now.
I'm pretty sure South Carolina is one of the only states that it's legal, but I'm
Faith,
not 100% sure.
Faith, my sister Faith ain't never got to worry about buying a dog if she don't want to. Because when I have a litter, I would send her the whole litter because I know that they not all gonna make the cut. You understand what I'm saying? They're not all
Hmm.
gonna make the cut. And what I would want is if 3 of them made the cut, I say, look, Faith, let me buy one of them dogs back. You know, let me buy one of them back because now, what I'm saying, I know that this one can at least has it in him to possibly produce something else like him and then bring that back. Elevated, okay, I'll give you another example. Elevated lives in a climate that's completely different from me. If Elevated sends me a dog and it survives the first summer in Arizona, right? Okay, that's making my bloodline better because I don't know if y'all know this, but if you live in Arizona for more than about a year, it thins your blood. When I came back to that Tom Garner pick picking,
What's the elevation of Arizona there?
the highest elevation in my city goes all the way up to 9,200 feet. But because it's a desert, it the air is thinner, and because of the heat, your blood naturally thins out over time, right? To
The
help your body.
highest spot here is 6,600.
But it's colder there. It's
Yeah,
literally colder there, and so
yeah, it's
your
like
dogs.
26 degrees right now.
Okay, when I came to the pick picking, some of y'all were sweating and were hot, right?
Hell
Some
yeah,
of
I
y'all
was
were
burning
sweating,
up.
bro. I could have been playing a game of basketball out there. I kid you not. I
Yep.
kid you not. We could have played a whole game of basketball because out here, my son and I have gone out in 101 and played ball at the court. Saying at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now here, hot to me is 115 and above. To me,
Yeah.
so
If it's above 96 here, 92, it's hot. 87 sometimes, just
but
depending
you
on the
got
humidity.
humidity. You got
Yeah,
humidity.
that humidity.
You got humidity.
Yep. And that's one thing that does make it a little like, yeah, oxygen's a little thinner here, but it's humid too, a little bit.
Hmm.
So it's good and bad to that. I've heard people
Yeah.
talk about different elevations in dogs and stuff. You couldn't
Yeah.
run bulldogs on animals around here hardly
Yeah.
because
That
of
You
the
had to switch
terrain.
them out. You'd have to
No,
switch
just
them out.
because of the terrain, they wouldn't do
Oh,
nothing. Yeah,
okay.
the animal would be gone before a bulldog could get to it. Like coons, possums, anything like that. Squirrels, you'd have a hard time. It'd be a little easier to do squirrels,
Yeah.
but like squirrels would probably be. You could probably have the most success here with squirrels and coyotes. But I mean, even coyotes are built a little different. They're tall and lanky.
Hmm.
They're athletic as hell here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say a different breed would be easier to run out there?
Yeah, walkers, plot hounds.
Okay.
Walkers does the best here.
Don't
They
forget
Hmm.
about them
honestly do.
blue ticks. Don't forget about them blue ticks, man. I grew up around blue ticks and walkers, man.
They do pretty good. Blue ticks are a lot bigger than walkers by like 10, 15 pounds.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the
Okay.
walker being small, and athletic, it can cut through stuff and go up the hills easier without getting gassed. And I'm telling you, there's some places here that's like straight up. So like really, I mean, this place is good for working out dogs, but as far as hunting them, it's not.
Hmm.
Not bulldogs.
Okay.
I'd be better off to have a yard full of walkers if I wanted to hunt.
I'm not gonna lie. Out here with open terrain, man, and we got these things out here called javelinas, man,
Yeah,
and
hey, you had sent me that video about Joe Rogan with the Joe Rogan.
that's true
That's
though.
why. That's why I'm gonna try to go. We're gonna set up the hog situation down in South Carolina where it's a little more flat, better terrain, higher chances.
Gotcha.
You can hunt on game lands down there. There's national forests around here and stuff, but there ain't a lot of like game lands. I don't think.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Arrowhead Kennels in the building, man. Salute, big Arrowhead.
In
And
North
Arrow.
and South Carolina, people ain't trying to get other people into hunting. It's weird.
well, I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I'll tell you
Yep.
why.
The
So
lack of land.
not just that, but when it comes to hunting, man, I don't trust everybody with a rifle in their hands. And I'm not saying they're gonna try to shoot you, but
Yeah.
man, it's a lot easier to know you ain't gonna get shot when you know there ain't nobody else out there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
I don't blame
Cause
them.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, I had a homeboy that that's what they family do is they go out on ranches out here in Texas and they eradicate the hogs. And they do that with they was hunting with dogs and it was six of them, two kids and the rest were, all uncles or whatnot. And one of the uncles shot the other uncle in the process of hunting. It was by accident. So after he got shot, they don't hunt with guns. They hunt with long sticks with bowie knives tied to the end of them. You know what I'm saying? On horses.
Spears.
Yeah, spears. What? Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
The
that's
dogs
cool.
will, yeah,
Accidentally
catch
hit
them now, poke them, and wrap them up
They
and move to the
they
next
sell like
hog.
legit spears for
Yeah,
dispatching animals like that, and a
Hey,
lot of
yeah.
people does sometimes use a spear hog hunting.
Hmm.
let me get to this question by brother Clay R15. He says, "So you guys all hunt with dogs? I got a few fights." Hey, so Clay, I currently don't hunt. What I've done is I've trapped wild animals and allowed my dogs to dispatch them, and then I clean the animal and feed it to my dog. But as far as hunting on open ground, I have not done it yet, so I can't give you a realistic assessment. But there are brothers and sisters in the chat that have done it and do it consistently, and that's exactly what we're going to start bringing to the channel. Is we're going to bring the experts in to talk about it because uh,
Yeah,
my expertise is not any one thing, but it's I know people that do it that can give you real life firsthand experience, and that's what we try. That's what we try to give over here. And let me read Sister Face. She says Ragnar is her main dog. He will hunt anywhere, anytime. He will find and catch his own, and even been against bay dogs and got one first. And see, that's a special dog.
hmm,
I don't know if Ragnar is the one on your thumbnail, but she does have Voodoo. She has Ragnar.
I believe that's the white and red dog. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
I
She had,
believe.
she can also tell y'all about the pain of losing a dog during a hunt, because
yeah,
as excited as I was when she started talking about losing dogs, that's when the
Well,
reality of
that's the reality of owning these type of dogs and working them
yeah,
hmm.
to
And
their full
that's
potential.
Yep, and that's the reason why most of the people that I do know that hunt, they don't care about the breed specifically. They care about the dog itself. Can
yeah,
this dog
Well,
get the work
and
done?
somebody that owns 15 plus and breeding them and stuff, you're going to deal with death a lot more than somebody that owns like 4 or 5.
Yep.
Death will come a lot more with a longer time between it. That's a
I,
reality of it too.
I would say that's where I'm not a Karen or one of them damn. I'm not a fur mommy, but that's where because I have two, I'm a little bit more intimately involved with the dogs. It weighs on me a little bit harder, and
Yeah.
that makes it that much harder for me to put one of the two that I have. So my goal would be to have a litter off of them and hunt their offspring, Um, but it's
Well, that way you still have the source. That's not
yeah, yeah,
everybody acts like that's wrong. That's smart. At least you keep your source good. If you
Yeah.
know it's good, then you can do it again.
yeah.
Yeah. Or go in another
Why
direction
risk
if
when you have one individual?
yeah. Or go in another direction if that one ain't it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And it's the reality of it is a lot of people hear about it and they get excited about it and then they don't think about, man, I spent $1,500, $2,000 on this dog and I went out there and hunted it and I lost the dog. And then they want to go bash the kennel because what happened is their emotions erupted when they lost the dog, and the dog just died doing what it was bred to do, and they lost the dog, and now they want to get mad at the kennel that they got it from. If it don't turn,
Hmm.
you know, uh, cut ties, or try or replace the animal. That's why I said, like, for me, if I'm sending it to a hog dogger, I'm not sending. If they buy one dog, they just bought the whole litter. I'm sending the whole litter. One of them gonna work out for you, and the one that works, keep that one. You know what I'm saying, and send me the rest back, because I can. Part of my culling process is finding what the dog can do. The one that hunts good might not be a good obedience dog. The one that's a good obedience dog might not be good at protection. The one that's good at protection might be a terrible house dog, and one of them might just be a pet. It needs to get castrated, and what I'm saying, and sit on some Percocets on the couch, and just be a fat nasty. you know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. It The culling process is based, because culling ain't always taking an animal out of existence. Sometimes culling is
Yeah.
taken out of that job because it cannot do the work that it's been designed to do, and it no
Yep.
longer be a part of that genetic makeup.
Hmm.
I got guys that just show dogs. They don't care if the dog can hunt at all.
I got a
Yeah.
dog from somebody, and I had him. I put him in a 10 by 10, kept him in there for a few months, and then I moved him to a chain. And most dogs would flourish. Well, this one, just like you could tell, it did not like being in that yard type of situation. I sent it to an old man that lives next. He's my dad's buddy, and she went fine, like a pet. But she
Hmm.
just didn't fit the yard situation. I don't know why, mindset or something. I don't know, but she didn't. She did great in a house situation though. That I never bred her.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, just because I want them to be able to withstand being on the yard, being in cold temperatures, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I want strong dogs, like actually strong dogs.
Yep. I also want to talk about my brother Eric Lawton, with his Lawton family bulldogs, man. And my sister Faith did an interview over there, and like you know, I would like to say that when Faith did our interview, she really opened up to the world and showed the world her kennel. But also, I want to give a shout out to my brother Eric Lawton, because even though he hasn't been putting out as much videos as he used to, man, that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? And I use the term brother or sister because you show me those qualities. And growing up, we had brothers and sisters in Christ, but I have brothers and sisters in life, bro. And she's been with me through the good, the bad, the ugly, and the sad, man. And uh, elevated, supreme, big A. These are my brothers, man. And some of y'all in the chat,
Yep.
man. I call Arrowhead my brother. He's been here, show enough. That's a brother now. Pooney, that's a brother. Welsh, that's a brother, man. They call me outside of this internet bull stuff and talk to me for the person that I am. They know my level of education. They know I don't know
Well,
what.
and like what's different about this channel is all of us have met or will eventually meet.
Yeah,
That's different
Yeah.
than the other YouTubers.
Yeah.
Like Big A, I'll meet you at the dog show in Louisiana.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I don't know who else
Hmm.
will be there, but I mean,
that's how
through
Faith.
time, that's how it works.
Let me give y'all a story about her, man. Because yeah, I know I've been screaming her name this episode, but y'all don't understand. My first ever dog show, I show up. I didn't know to bring a folding chair. I didn't know about how where the dogs. I didn't know none of this. Faith and Junior, they saw me and said, "Hey, come over here and sit by us by this tree. All these other dogs are out here. Some of these guys got their dogs sitting in the car with AC. Bring that dog over here by us." And I sat right next to them, and there's an oak tree at Texas Top Dogs, and we sat under that oak tree and we just talked. And they talked to me about this is how you really fellowship, and you can't do that creating division online where people don't want to talk to each other. And they didn't know me,
That's why I love the pig picking.
yeah, they
Really.
didn't know me, they don't know me from a can of paint. We just know we got dogs. We're out here with these dogs and we love them, And she reached out to me, man, after the show, and we became friends. Brother Brian, Gil, Chris, you know what I'm saying? These guys were people I met. Brother Clay, No Fear, and some of these people don't even get along. Don't get it twisted. Like
Well,
even with the positive people, we ain't always gonna agree.
well,
You know?
like brother Todd Green, you've
Yeah,
seen him in the chat. He was coming from Arkansas, and he stopped and met my mom and got my T-shirts that I wasn't able to get, and brought them to me at the motel. Like I
That's
didn't
what's
know
up.
him, didn't meet him. That was just being a straight up guy.
That's what's up.
They weren't finished yet, and by the time he come through, they were. So he grabbed them. I was like, man, that is like legit. Then come to find out, he had the motel room next to me.
Yep. Hey, check this
So
out.
it worked out perfect.
Check this out. White Chocolate is in the chat. And yes, I met him at the pig picking. And you know what? Not the pig picking, at Top Dogs. And check this out. This guy saw me and knew me from YouTube, didn't know nothing about me. And is honestly, if he created a dog channel, he would really, with the knowledge that he shared with me personally, he would run a lot of these channels into the ground, not because he's out here trying to get anybody, because every story he's ever told, it's his story. It ain't about him telling about, oh, I knew this guy or I knew that guy. He'll tell you what dogs he owned. And I got nothing but respect for that man because he knows I don't know nothing. When he calls me, he's educating me on history. He's like, hey Dre, you said this, but that was wrong. This breeding actually was like this right here. That's what Online Pets put out. But here's the picture of that dog you're talking about. And I love those corrections, man. I love those corrections. And that's why I really don't care about pets because I ain't seen a pet yet that on online peds that if you actually talk to the guys that bred the dog, even down to Mr. Boudreaux, if Mr. Boudreaux starts breaking down peds to you, you'll be like, man, it is still the same bloodline, but that dog that's on that online ped is the brother to the dog that's actually on the pedigree. The problem was the actual dog whose pedigree made that dog, the owner wouldn't allow it to be on online peds.
Yeah.
So you gotta know some of the people behind the dogs, man. And
Well,
I
I've
gotta get.
noticed that the more old timers that come out talking about pedigrees and stuff, they're talking about this one was this way, this one was that way. So you're telling me half of these dogs' pedigrees are all mixed up to begin with? That really shows you should just take and breed on dogs and traits that you're liking. It don't matter about the papers.
Yeah, because
Breed better dogs.
the first I ever heard about the Congo dog was when White Chocolate came over here and talked about the Congo dog. Now everybody's talking about the Congo stuff. I'd never heard of it. I'd never heard of it. And also, let me say this as well, man. Um, don't talk to me about a dog online, and just for safety for everybody. Don't talk about a dog online that is still living, please. Unless it's doing the positive things like these channels that are showing them actively doing the work, man. This is historical. These are historical stories, but I'm on here talking about my bloodline, right? The weirdo blood and the bird dog. These dogs are dead. These dogs have been
Yeah.
long, and the owners are retired from breeding dogs, right? And so, but I know guys that were there. Some of these guys help make these stickings and these breedings, and I really appreciate that, man. I just want to say thank you to everybody, man. And this ain't no ass kissing contest, but I tell you what, everybody I'm speaking on, like how Elevator said, I've shaken their hand before. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yeah.
I've shaken their hand. Y'all seen Big A in my videos. Big A has got bit by my dogs before. Not
Yeah.
let me put that out there. He's been my decoy. These are my brothers. They've this channel is not big because I have the most dog knowledge. It's not big because I'm a big trainer. It's big because I'm surrounded by outstanding people. I'm
You are
surrounded.
the company you keep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, that's a fact.
Yeah, man.
yeah, man. And Faith, I tell you. Before I knew you taught me about a puppy, and I gave you some bullshit. But I tell you what, Faith, if you ever got room for a dog on your yard, and the elevator, this elevator supreme, anybody, Dickie, all of those names, White Chocolate, any of y'all, man. If you want an old yellow dog, man, you ain't got to pay for it. Just be able to meet up with me somewhere where I ain't got to go too far. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
elevator gonna have that dog looking good, acting good, and out there in the public, showing it. I know that Faith is gonna hunt that dog, and she gonna say, "Hey, Dre, that one wasn't the one." And you know what I'm gonna say? Send that one back, and I'm gonna send you a whole nother litter to test out. You know what I'm saying? And if they
Well,
don't,
Yeah.
I have dogs from other people that I have raised up to their full potential, and I'm going to show them off a lot more this year. They're at full age. I can play my old pictures and videos leading up to who they are now, and then
Yeah.
when I take them to shows and stuff, people already recognize them. I own a couple of dogs. I own the dog from Brown's Kennel. She's awesome, Dirty Girl. She's a great
Hmm.
dog.
yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because my
and
sound went out.
Okay.
she's a great dog. She really is. She's off of Black Knight and Tequila. I had
Yeah.
puppies with I'm bred Mason to her, and I had puppies off of them, and they're all great dogs. Every one of them's nice.
Yeah,
I
man.
honestly, there's not one out of that litter that I'm not happy with. One's with a hog hunter, so he's about to get started. He goes to South Carolina and Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. This these Shogun talks, man. I'll tell y'all what. If you're on here right now and you're not a follower of the Samurai Kennels page, please do. My goal with that Facebook page is to get to 500 on that Facebook page because I'm not monetized. Facebook is the only social media I have that I'm not monetized on, and I think it's because I've pulled out a lot of the dog groups on Facebook because I don't have any input of value to add to those groups. And so,
Yeah.
if I don't have anything to add there, I'm not going to be a ghost watcher in those groups on
That was
Facebook.
a real good way of putting how you felt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because we all know the truth
Yeah.
behind the Facebook groups, man.
Yeah.
And Dre, that's why I love you, bro, because you would take the high road, the high route on mostly anything. But man,
Cause that's
you
what
know,
that's what you supposed to do, man.
man,
You supposed to do that. You really, honestly, man, it take a fool to argue with a fool. And then, what you say, Dre, when two fools are or two people arguing, you can't tell the difference between a smart person and a fool if you stand and
Hey,
fall,
hey,
standing.
I believe whoever spells correctly.
Yeah,
I
but
yeah.
yeah,
And I've been foolish. I've been foolish, but I tell you what, man. Those y'all who
Hey,
are here right
arguing with people is
now,
putting out bad energy that you don't need.
yeah,
those y'all here on the panel and in the chat, and with all the foolishness I've been having going on this past week, man. Every one of y'all has said, man, Dre, stay to your path, man. I got to shout out Mike, Dan, and a bunch of other guys that I haven't seen here right now, but they'll see this and they'll know it, man. I know what I give, and I know the love I received is genuine from here right now because we're not even talking about nothing that y'all don't already know. I'm
yeah,
We will give a voice to those who wouldn't get a voice elsewhere. We have built a platform that is big enough to be heard, and even through all the tomfoolery, the one thing that we said was even though we're only 3,000 strong right now, people hear us, and some of our sentiments have been echoed throughout you on much larger platforms. And
and-
as long and I don't care how the message gets out. It's not about the messenger. Get the message. Are you getting
yeah, for real. And we not no super duper dog, man. We not claiming to be superheroes, wearing the cape out here, beating on the chest or anything. This is for the common. This is for the common human. This for the common person that's in this. Just a regular person, you know.
Yeah, this is the chat that's living in reality of 2025.
Yeah,
yeah?
yeah,
I had somebody comment on. I did an interview with Sister Sarah. Right, Sarah lives
yeah,
out in Washington, and she she was telling her story, and I think her story is more relatable than most of the other stories I've heard because she got the dog because her neighbor said you should rescue that dog. So
yep,
she went and got this dog, and she got into some shit. And
yeah.
90% of the time, when the person you sell the dog to or let that dog go to can't keep it, they're gonna give it to their cousin or their auntie or whoever. And most of the time, that person does not have knowledge, and that's what this channel is about. That
And
person.
yeah, and what went over a lot of people's head is she's never been put in a situation like this, and she is a self-taught trainer. She learned her whole way through this, and she's sticking with it, and that's a hard thing to do, especially when you dealing with this
Well,
breed.
I don't see why self taught is so hated on. Self taught just shows me passion, commitment, dedication, like to
Yeah,
learning the craft of whatever it is you're doing.
hmm,
I
yeah.
mean, that's
It
something
just
that needs to
shows.
be
It shows.
accepted better.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, but all in all, man, it takes a lot to just jump into this type of breed, not expecting to get what this breed offers. You know what I'm saying?
And then think about because a lot of us aren't new. A lot of us have been here long enough to know, the drama that comes with it. Imagine being a new person and you come in just trying to get information, and you go to one of those chats that I was talking about, man. Uh, Asking certain questions is just going to get you ridiculed and laughed out of the chat.
Yeah,
So Y'all help me grow the Samurai Kennels chat. And let me say this too. A lot of the questions I ask on my page, I have my own perspective on the questions I ask. I'm not asking it because a lot of people ask you a question just so they can give themselves a chance to tell you their perspective. I asked the question because once again, all of us come from different walks of life. And the question of today was, do you think that training a dog is beneficial? And a lot of y'all great brothers and sisters have already commented on there, and it ain't no right
Well,
or wrong. And I pray to God it doesn't
it
turn into
brings
argument.
control.
Yeah.
Anything's better with control. Like it is, especially in the dog world. If that dog's more controlled, it'll definitely do what you want it to do.
And also, training ain't sit down and stay. Training is whatever the
Right.
dog is going to be used for. Okay, for example, if I got a blind seeing eye dog, I don't care if that dog can catch a coon. Can that dog walk me into traffic without getting us both killed by a car? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
Well, like
saying?
For real.
our dog that does the walk on, he is trained to sit and stay and all that stuff because in the process of doing the walk on, you want him to be focused. You know,
Yeah.
like that's something I've used in my, and I've seen him do 12 feet at the
Hmm.
house. Hopefully, he'll be at the pig picking this year.
And
Yeah.
also, for those of y'all who have y'all own YouTube channels, um, I will never be a gatekeeper for that. For like with the little 3,000 people I have, and the ghost watchers and the haters and stuff like that too. Um, Everybody who comes on here, if you have your own channel, I want to say that StreamYard has the ability where you can stream simulcast. So you can stream it to your channel too, because what happens is my goal is everybody that deals with me, if they want to be active on social media, to help them monetize faster than when I monetize. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the money. But I'm literally able to. I spend about $200 to
Well,
$280 a month.
some of us don't care about the money. We want exposure about for our good dogs. Our
But
dogs have put in enough work where we think they need to be seen.
elevated, I
You know.
like this. I like this elevated. So uh I wasn't feeding raw. When I started feeding raw, my bill for dog food went up. You know what I'm saying? It went up significantly because I still buy kibble as well.
Yeah.
And for my two dogs, just my kibble allowance a month on my dogs is like $110 for two dogs. Because I started doing I stole what you said from your yard tour. And instead of feeding them a prescribed amount, I filled the bowl to the brim with kibble, you know what I'm saying, every other day. So it'd be one day of just a brimming bowl of kibble, and then the next day those little videos I make with the where I do my it's a 50-50. I never go completely raw unless I'm like conditioning for a show, right?
Do you soak the food when you do it?
I don't soak it all the time, but when I do soak it, I add
Try
chicken
that
stock.
Broth.
consistently.
I try chicken stock and a bone broth. I
Yeah.
don't use water, but you taught me this too. I found out that my dog, I was causing bloat in my dogs because I was giving them kibble and then water afterward. And what was
Yeah.
happening was the kibble swells in their belly and was causing them issues.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and it's not like bloat like the condition that'll kill a dog. It's like their stomach's bloated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's a difference in those two. People get
yeah,
that confused. Bloat is a condition that happens and their dog dies in 4 minutes, and you can't stop
Yeah.
it. Not even a vet can stop it most of the time.
yeah. But it's
But then they have like bloat, like we get bloated, and that's from swelling of food in their stomach.
and it also causes it to clog their
But if
intestines.
if
They're
you
pushing.
soak their food for 30 minutes and start feeding them like that, that'll stop that completely. You won't
Yeah,
even see no type of sicknesses through exercise or any of that.
yeah. When it's feeding time, my dogs get loud, so I be trying to get the food to them as fast as possible.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They get loud. Well, there's two times in the day where my dogs are super loud. They can hear the difference when my wife pulls up versus when I pull up. They can hear the
Yeah.
difference.
When you come home. Yeah.
When I come home, they turn up, and when I get ready to feed, they turn up. Aside from that, they're pretty chill. Like right now, they're outside. They're chilling. I gave them their morning water, you know, and they're chilling right now. You ain't heard a single bark the whole time. But let me go out there and rustle a bag that sounds like a bag of dog food, and they will let off. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the mountain goes crazy.
Yeah.
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 It sounds like there's a bear over here when I go to rustle in a food bag.
Man, I
Yeah.
wonder who's finna win this dog show because I'm finna breed my dog, so I'm gonna take the back seat.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a good one, man. I got some kennels that are putting in 6 and 7 dogs, man.
That's
Um,
crazy.
but they're just
Yeah, I'm
up,
gonna
They
enter
come.
quite a few.
up in
They
there.
coming down.
It's free. You know what I'm saying? Like it's free. I would
I'm
enter.
gonna have like
Yeah.
I'm gonna have like 10 or 11.
Yeah,
God damn, you got that
yeah.
many dogs?
That's what I'm saying. Man, you better go check his yard tour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
God damn.
And
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to get there, man. I'm when I breed her, I'm gonna try
Hmm.
and be stable enough to keep three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna let my girl pick a boy. I'm more infatuated with females, so I'll probably pick two females.
Hmm.
What
Yeah.
blood are they?
Well, my bitch, she Maverick with a little Vinnies at the bottom through that Floyd Boudreaux's J Lo bitch,
Hmm.
Hmm.
and underneath her she Carver through Epinets. And,
Okay, yeah, you're good to keep females.
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you can't
yeah.
go wrong keeping females off of stuff like that
But
because
yeah, man.
they're usually high percentage.
But hey, brothers, I'm a that Percocet's kicking in like a mug right now. I might get a fresh bag of frozen peas and go sit in the room with my mom and watch. She watches the news all morning, so I might be watching the temperatures in Raleigh. She watches the North Carolina news, so I might be
Hmm.
watching up there, man. But y'all brothers, go ahead and do y'all part in remarks, man. And I'm gonna start today working on the different thumbnails, and I'll post it on the Facebook page so you can know exactly what you're gonna get. If it's gonna be straight dog talk or more one of these talks right here where we're just kicking it, or something that's supposed to be like education, like a pre-recorded show. I'm gonna have
Okay.
three thumbnails, and you will know, so you can pick which content you're here for. If you're here for all three, that's great, but I don't expect everybody to be into everything I'm talking about. That's absolutely ridiculous. I don't want a
Yeah.
dogmatic. I just want free thinkers.
Yeah. Yes,
Well,
sir.
it's your boy Supreme, man. Finna get ready to go to work, man.
Hmm.
Everybody, man, y'all have a good day. And don't let
Yeah.
nobody mess it up.
You
For sure.
Yes, sir.
safe, man, with that welding stuff, bro. Be safe, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's your boy Big A. You know what it is, man. Back in here like I left my wallet and keys, man. But a little late, but always on time. Yeah.
Better late than never.
Yes, sir.
This is Elevated Kennels, man. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on TikTok, Facebook. Any questions, hit us up. I'm
Yes, sir.
always down to talk Bulldogs.
Yes, sir. And
Yeah.
Elevate said, man, I'm gonna have to start sending you not only the link to come on the panel, but so you can start simul streaming in it as well. Because
Yeah, for sure.
even if it's not your goal, my goal is that everybody has the opportunity to like. If you're gonna talk, why not get paid for it? You know what I'm saying? Why that's my logic on it. Like you do this for free for passion, but I just think that more people
Well, that's
social
when you do something long enough for free out of passion, you eventually do get paid. It's
exactly.
Yeah.
just the reality of doing something like that.
I feel like you're overdue. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's overdue for you. And so
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the game for 6 years.
yeah, I
I
want to
started
support.
breeding Mason
Yeah.
6 years ago.
Yes, sir, man. And I want to give a special shout out to Tony M. Salute Tony M. One of the free thinkers I was talking about, man. Brother RBG Lone Wolf, Sister Faith, TX RC Noob, uh, Brother White Chocolate, Brother Clay R15, Brother Shona, Brother Pooney, and that's as far as that, man. But if I missed you, I don't forget you. I don't hate you. It's just my human nature. And I'm gonna hit y'all with the Christian watchword, and we're gonna get up out of here for the day, y'all. Those of y'all who are so inclined, bow your heads. If not, that's okay too. But may the Lord watch between you and me while we are absent, one from another. Amen.
Amen.
And I
Amen.
do want to say, Brother Tony shared Elevated Kennel on there. I don't see how you could follow Samurai Kennel's page and movement without following Elevated. So if you're not subscribed already, do my brother Elevated a favor. Go over there and subscribe. Subscribe. It costs you absolutely nothing. All right, you know what I'm saying? It costs you
Yes,
absolutely.
sir.
And if you create a channel and you want it pushed, and you're over here and you're consistently good to us, then I have no problem pushing that channel out, man, and helping you get out there and get heard, man, because uh they didn't stop creating YouTube channels when I created mine, man.
Yep.
Yep. I
All right,
share to the
Yeah.
community on YouTube. I share these lives to the community on my YouTube. Uh, I
Dogman
try
TV,
to attach it a bunch of different ways.
Dogman TV Guide on Facebook. That's a
Yeah.
that is administered by my brother Elevated as well, man. It is a great way to find out like what lives we share lives
Well,
and too.
it was intended for like you to go in there and look, and you'll be like, oh, this live's going to drop. All of it in one place,
Yeah,
and everybody that had a YouTube channel is welcome to post on it.
yeah,
Damn, they said Trader Truth's daughter was found at a
Yeah, they found
man,
it. Mexican and Mexican border like Cali.
damn.
Yeah, yeah.
man. Hold up, y'all, man. I know we leaving soon, man. When Big comes through, man, Big Scratch, that Red Boy video, fire, fire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shit, anything from him is great. I've
I've been
met
waiting
him in
on
yeah,
person
Yeah,
multiple
Yeah.
yeah.
times.
and see, I haven't had the
That's what's
pleasure
up.
of Scratch, man, but yeah,
Shit,
man.
he's legit.
And Big Scratch TVG, another YouTube channel that I watch and enjoy, man. Salute, man, and thank because I never you never know who's watching, man. That means a lot to me, man. Thank you for coming through, brother. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah, man.
We gonna end it, man. I'm gonna get out the back chat. Like I said, these Percocets is kicking in, and while they're doing their work on me, man, I want to just sleep through it, man. I want to just go get some sleep, and I go back to work on Thursday, so I want to rest up and be recovered enough that I ain't gonna, stress
Yeah,
myself.
You
And
go to sleep enough, eventually you'll wake up and they won't be sore no more.
He gonna
yeah,
be
yeah.
he gonna be dreaming about winning the confirmation show with Saki.
yeah, yeah,
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, Casino like Perez got me nervous, and a
yeah,
lot of people will be like, man, you're supposed to be confident. I am confident. I'm confident that he's won more shows than I've won. You know what I'm saying?
I
I'm
like that
confident
guy.
that
yeah,
He's straight up. I've met him.
yeah. Yeah, he was at the
Yeah.
he was at the pig picking, man, and that brother's dog Canelo is something fierce. When I see him and Mason and Faye and shit, I gotta go up against my own dog. Big A bringing
Hey, Mason's an old man now. Everybody's gonna have to start worrying about his offspring showing up now.
yeah,
yeah,
you know,
Some of them are
Judge,
coming of
one of
age.
the dogs.
Yep.
Man. But look at that dog and Big A's thing. Even though I produced it, man, he brings it to the show. If she wins a best female class for her age range, and I mess around and pull off a best in my age class, I got to go up against that.
Yep.
And it's
yeah,
not fear. It's just recognizing a good looking dog, man. Ain't nothing
yeah,
wrong with recognizing a good looking dog. What else are you in it for? You know.
yeah,
Um,
No,
but
if the
yeah,
guy that has your dogs winning, you're winning too.
yeah. But
yeah,
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
I still want to beat him.
Throwbacks won a lot of shit that I didn't win, and I'm just like, hell yeah, every time.
Yeah, yeah, man. But you can compete without hating. You know what I'm saying? You can
Yeah.
compete,
yeah,
and that's man. I,
You might
yeah,
as well make a course in there. Samurai course, compete without hating.
Yep.
yeah, yeah. Because I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Even if it ain't my blood, if I see the people I deal with winning, I feel like I won. Like the biggest movie character I can think of is that kid off Paid in Full, Ace, when his partner rolls up in that BMW, and he's I think he's more happy than Mitch was. Mitch owns the BMW, but Ace was just like, man, that's my friend, man. He won. We won. When
yeah,
us wins, we all wins, man. And that's it, man. It ain't no go along to get along, man. It's just congratulating those who you got genuine respect and admiration for. And
yeah,
I'll never let nobody play me down for that, man, or play one of y'all down for congratulating the winner.
yeah, man.
All right, y'all. But yeah, Big Scratch came in here and changed up the whole direction of it. But I am gonna shut it down, y'all, man. It was good. I need to get to work. But you know what? I don't just need to get Big A. I need you to get to work too, because
Yeah,
Big A knows how to make thumbnails as well, man. And any of y'all who want y'all dogs advertised on here on our next pre-recorded show, I will be showing some dogs from Red Leash Kennels. He's giving me permission to show some of his dogs on the show, as well as Brother Crockett. Brother Crockett Wilkins has also allowed me to show some of the dogs on there. And throughout the shows, what I'll be doing is I'll just be showing the dog. But I would love for those brothers if they could write me a little short snippet of what they want said about their dogs, because I don't want to do them any injustice on the dogs.
I'll
yeah.
send you a couple to show
Even if
off.
yeah, even if you do like a little voice record or something, you don't have time to necessarily text it or something, you know, that'll be
Yeah, just
what's
like
up.
a descriptive voice recording of the
Yeah,
dog and
Yeah,
its
yes,
yeah,
lifestyle and what you see out of it.
yes,
yeah,
yeah, man. You know,
Yeah, I'll send you a couple for that old stuff that I got that won't be, in the digital dog show.
yeah, and also,
The
man,
dogs
yeah,
will be, but it's old videos of them.
another thing, bro. This is one of my biggest pet peeves, man. Color. Like, start telling what color your dog is, because one thing that I get pissed off is my dogs are not truly yellow. The color that they are listed as on their registration is buckskin. The
Yeah.
Yeah.
term buckskin is probably one of the most fucked up terms.
Even Mason's considered buckskin by Benny
Yes,
Romeo.
Mason is a buckskin dog to
Yeah,
me. He is, but I've
I entered him in best red, and he said that he was buckskin, so I just walked out.
so but to me, Mason is a buckskin dog to
Yeah,
me.
he really is.
Yeah. Now, but I've had people that will put a brown dog in a buckskin class, or will put a red dog, and I'm like, bro, these are little things, and I'm like, it's a real pet peeve of mine. But rather than argue, I just let the person enter it anyways, because the people that
Yeah.
know I do my votes, the people that know are going to be like, okay, like there's no way that dog is winning this class because he's
Yeah,
misclassified.
because it don't fit the class. Yeah,
Exactly,
Yeah.
I've
exactly.
seen people lose because their dog didn't fit the class that way in
Yeah,
sanctioned shows.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like that just goes to show it happens so often that people genuinely don't understand uh what it looks like.
Well, the
You know,
ADBA has a color standard chart. I'll send it to you and you can share it.
you know what? You just gave me several shows of content, because what I'll do is I'll start just doing educational shows like that at the very rudimentary level, because even in my shows I've had dogs in the buckskin class, and I let it ride. I let it ride, and I shouldn't have done that, but I should have just contacted the person offline. But they wanted to compete, and above being right, I'd rather get it right. So getting it
Yeah.
right. If I can get a bunch of buckskin dog, and I don't want to pull them off of Google, because what happens off Google, I've had this happen to me before. That's why I stopped using Google Images. I pull an image off Google, and the person who owns the dog is like, "Man, I appreciate you showing my dog." I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't have done that. That was a very
Yeah.
good way of correcting me. So if the person don't send me the dog, I'm not putting it on my channel. I got
Yeah.
enough dogs in my camp to show dogs, but I only have buckskin and brown dogs in my buckskin, brown and red dogs in my camp. Ain't a single
Yeah.
brown dog in my camp. You know, ain't a single brindle dog in my camp. So I can't talk to you about brindle dogs, about black brindle or chocolate brindle or red brindle or reverse brindle. I can't talk to you about that because I don't got them. You know,
Yeah.
and yeah, man, y'all got me talking, man. Big Scratch, I appreciate you coming here and shaking it up, man. But Elevated, we'll get together on that too, and we'll just do episodes on different colors. We can do an episode on black dogs and talk about,
Yeah.
to me, a seal dog is a
Well,
black
and
dog.
how we can talk about the locuses that makes them that color and why they are that color. So you show their pedigree, and I can show you why they are that color through their breeding.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I can, if there's pictures of the dogs, each
Most,
generation.
most of them seal dogs, they started off with tan and buskin dogs with some black dogs integrated into them.
Well, all them dogs are dilutions of black dogs. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything that's buckskin, anything that color, brindle. Brindle is a mutated black gene.
yeah.
Like it's wild how it works out.
I love it. I had an orange
Yeah,
brindle,
it's shit's
old County
fascinating to
red
me.
nose back in the day. But we
Yeah,
just sitting there talking and talking.
I had a buckskin brindle. I know they was talking about it a couple months ago, and I didn't say
That's
nothing.
what Mason is.
Yeah, yeah, a buckskin brindle, bro. The prettiest dog I ever seen, man.
I
And
get a lot of brindle off of him.
she didn't have no papers, man. But this dog was so smart, bro. I brought her home the first night. She started whining. I always let my dogs, puppies, that they sleep beside the bed. That's just one of my bonding things. They always sleep beside the bed, and
Hmm.
and then but the first night I ever got her, she started whining, and I took her outside. She peed and pooped, brought her back inside. 3 hours later, she started whining. Took her outside. I never had to teach this dog anything, and these are qualities that my dogs are taught, that this dog just naturally came with,
Hmm.
And we can talk about a lot of things, man. There's a lot of things to go overlooked, and it's not
Well,
always
and
what it.
Throwback would like to come on and talk about that subject probably.
Yeah, and he's welcome,
Like
brother.
dogs that are like
Welcome.
willing to please and just have
Yeah.
that tendency.
Yeah, because it matters, man. I hate the dogs because I keep my dogs in kennels or crates, and the ones that step in their poop, like the ones that poop in the corner, Saki, if
Yeah.
he, I don't get home and let him out fast enough, he will a he'll pee through the bars so the pee doesn't get.
Yep.
You
Well,
know,
Yeah.
hopefully, if you get to Florida, you can be able to have chain setups.
yeah,
Yeah.
setups, and I still have my retriever kennels too, because when I'm cleaning my chain setups, or like there's certain things I like the kennel for, and there's certain things I like the chain
Yeah,
setup.
they're a necessary tool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But Yeah, man. I come in and he peed on the floor, and I mean, it's got a strong pee smell in there, and I'd be so mad. But at the same time, I'm proud because I'm like, I ain't got to clean him. He
Yeah,
will he will back his ass up to the cage and shit through so that the poop ain't in there and he ain't got to step in it. And
yeah,
the ones that step in the poop and get it all over them, those get called out because they're hard. To me, that's a hard keeper.
yeah, yeah. Yep, I never had an issue with Michonne in the kennel either. You know, when she would have kennel accidents and whatnot. Uh, she would never be she would never be just be sitting in it, or she'd be on one side and it be on the other side. Yeah.
Hey, and by the way, man, Welsh, Elevated, all of y'all, man, for my episodes, what I want to start doing is like swamp people because I'm trying to make the episodes, the Samurai Kennel episodes, season 1. I'm trying to make it like swamp people. I don't know if y'all watched that with man, what Troy Landry and them on a History Channel where they hunt the
Hmm.
alligator. And what I would like to do is,
Shoot
instead,
him, Junior.
say
Ain't
again,
that him? Ain't that him? Shoot him, Junior.
yeah,
He
yeah,
tells
yeah,
him
yeah,
shoot.
that's
Yeah,
yeah. And what I would
I
like to
love the Cajun culture.
is follow up with y'all,
I'm
like you
excited to go to Louisiana.
you, Faith, everybody, man. Even if you ain't got a dog, man. And meanwhile in North Carolina, and then flash over to Elevated Kennel, and he's talking about stuff in North Carolina from his perspective. And then meanwhile in Texas, and then and I show a video of the map, and it's like a little arrow going down to Texas in San Antonio, and then Aaron is talking, and then meanwhile in Mississippi, and one is talking, and meanwhile out in the Midwest, and it's Supreme is talking. And instead of it just being me, a self-licking lollipop, and or doing these long format interviews, we can just show, throughout the dog world what our community is doing. Because at the end of the day, the community I'm building, this Neo Dogman movement, the Shogun Army, is man, it's not about me. It's not, it's not about me, man. And yeah, man, I'm excited, man, because there's so much room for content on here, man. Brother Big Scratch, man, I would love to just get a sound clip of you on here, bro. And I'll collaborate with whoever will collaborate with me. And y'all are welcome, man. And you can reach out to me on Facebook
Well,
privately.
and that's positive. Like he don't get no hate, and he's always positive. Don't do anything illegal with your dogs. He says it every episode, and he backs that.
Yeah, 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 man. Yeah, bro. You know what? If y'all not done, I ain't done. I got a couch in my room. I'm laying on a futon right now. My wife is gone. I bought her a new car. We keep talking, man. If y'all want to keep talking, I just need a couple
Yeah.
more chat, man. Because if not, we can talk in the back chat. If it's just gonna be the four of us talking, but
Yeah.
and I can also post the link again as well if anybody wants to come up and elaborate. You know, I will. I'm gonna go and post the link again, y'all. Because if anybody wants to come up and elaborate, you're welcome to come up, man. Like I said, I'm off work for the next 2 days. I'm on convalescent right now.
Well, and I think we need to show people how to use StreamYard on here
Yeah,
because I think
Yeah.
some people don't jump on this stuff because they don't know what app you're using.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Okay, so Exhibit 1, the StreamYard link. So y'all click the. I'm just playing.
No, sometimes that's helpful.
For real. Yeah.
Now, if you download the app and you click the link at the bottom, it'll say default app instead of Safari or Google or whatever.
Hmm.
It'll probably be better for y'all to just go ahead. If y'all gonna be jumping on, just download the StreamYard app, and then that way you can decorate your app with the background and the avatar and all that good shit.
Okay.
Man, dog be looking at me like I ain't gotta go to work. You know I gotta go to work, and we not finna go walking. It's all type of snow out
Yeah.
yeah, man. And I had to go ahead. I had to back out real quick, y'all. I don't know
Yeah,
if
we
y'all can
got a
hear me.
little bit here at my house too.
I had to go ahead and wrench up Big Scratch in Texas noob, man, because they've been coming through
Okay.
with good stuff, man. So I'm on my
Yeah.
phone. I had to back out long enough to do that, but yeah, man. Arrowhead gave a thumbs up, man, and man, let me just talk about brother Arrowhead, y'all. First of all, let me tell y'all this: Arrowhead is y'all don't even understand the wealth of knowledge that brother's got, bro.
here.
Hmm.
Y'all don't understand, man. He Arrowhead told y'all his story. You gotta send a link to that video. He told his story about how he first got into it, man. And that story resonated with me because it made sense to me. Hold on just a second, man. We got the legendary Constant Pressure Kennels in here, man. Constant Pressure,
Hey,
let me give you a proper introduction, brother. And
Hey,
let me give you a proper introduction, man, and I'm gonna leave it alone. So
let me
I've been
do it. Let me do it. Let me do it. Let me do it.
okay, go ahead, go ahead.
All right, we got one of the most humblest brothers with one of the most nastiest yards. Live on
Much
panel, on
love.
stage, constant pressure, baby.
Hey, salute to the panel, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through, dropping the knowledge, man, because even I come through to learn something every day, man. So
yes,
it's all
sir.
love, brother.
For
Yes,
sure.
sir.
Yes,
Nah,
sir.
Constant Pressure,
Fred, what up, Fred?
I gotta shout your bro. Y'all don't understand. I saw Constant Pressure. Y'all know I'm a self-proclaimed Rastafarian. So the first thing when I met him at the dog show in Houston was this. He had on a collar and it had symbolic colors to me on the collar, and I never seen a dog collar like that before. And they got mad at him because he bought a flirt pole at the show, and his dog used the flirt pole that he bought at the dog show, which I thought was absurd. The second thing is it was 89 degrees that day, and I promise you, the only dog that worked from 7 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock when that show shut down, black dog he brought. And I don't think you understand this. My dogs work. My dogs really, really work. Man, you need something? $2?
Yeah, Fred, that constant pressure got a nasty lineup. I be looking at his dogs like, man.
Hey, for real, brother. Hey, I don't think they understand that Houston humidity. That's the difference.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we were just coming from the West Coast, so my dogs wasn't even used to it yet. But you know what I mean. I all their lives I keep them working in hectic situations, so they pretty much do good wherever they go. You know.
But
yeah.
But
pressure. Let me explain something to you. I had been on at that point when I met you. I had been doing 10 mile,
mhm.
sometimes 3 hour bike rides with my dog, and my dog even overheated. And I was
Yes,
like, I
sir.
know my dog is in good shape. So I don't know what that is he brought me,
Hey, that
but
was that
he
was that was
pulled-
Mr. 219 Farrakhan the Great.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? I won't even say much more, but man, some of them got that natural wind. You know what I mean? Some of them got to work for it. So
yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, but those are the qualities that I didn't know I was missing it in my program, because some stuff you don't know until you see it, and that's
Yeah.
why I always like keep talking about it. It's not because I'm dick riding. It's because literally, bro, I had never. There were 100 dogs out there. Y'all don't understand. There was 100 dogs out there.
They was
Yeah.
hiding from that sun, boy.
Yeah,
They
bro.
was looking for that shade, right?
That was my first dog show, and I didn't even know it was brother Gilchrist was like, yeah, man. Most of these guys they take their dogs to the car and put them in the AC until it's their time to come in the ring, so they'll come in there fresh, you
hmm
know.
Yeah.
And this guy was up, he flirting with the dog before he goes into the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was a good it was nice meeting you at that show, man, and we've been locked in ever since, man. I appreciate you for the love and the shout outs. I heard I made a list a few weeks ago. I wasn't able to see the episode, but man, I appreciate that too, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Hey, constant pressure. I'm not gonna go into with that list, man, because it caused a lot of drama, man. And but I will say this: uh, welcome to the panel, bro. And anything you want to share, man, go feel free to share it on here, man. And I just appreciate you even taking the time to come through, bro. Thank you.
Oh, much
Yes,
love, brother.
sir.
Much love to the panel. I appreciate y'all for again for dropping y'all knowledge, man. Because everybody see things different, man. And there's more than one way to skin a cat, man. So no
Yeah.
matter where you're at in this game, man, you can always learn from your fellow brothers and sisters. In the dog game, you can always learn something.
Yeah.
So I'm here to tune in, man, to drop some knowledge and gain some knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like as far as having the dogs in the AC at the dog shows, I don't do that. I take them in the dog box. That way, the weather's consistent. It's not super cool when they get out in the hot and stuff.
Yes,
I've seen
sir.
a better result out of that.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of things about the way you switch the
No,
temperature on them
well,
instantly,
like if you condition your dog in an AC room, then that might be better for it.
Mm-hmm.
but I don't. So
Yes, sir.
I don't feel that's important to me.
All day, and I've heard things about them just switching them instantly like that can cause dogs to have strokes. A lot of people say stuff about when you when a dog is overheating and you put the water on them. You know they can have strokes that way too. You know I've never had it happen personally, but I've heard few people who have. You know.
Well, the
Yeah,
best way to cool a dog off if it's too hot is like watered down alcohol on a rag and just wipe their
Yeah,
stomach with it.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's
So
the best way I've seen.
that's some good game.
yeah,
Also, man, with the vendors that come to the shows, man, I'm gonna start getting some of those vendors on here ahead of time, man, to review some of their products and see if they can start sponsoring us. Because I think a lot of people don't realize sponsorship ain't always giving person money, man. But if you can donate collars, leash, if you got it like that to donate, or even if I have to buy it and raffle it off on the show, or give it away as prizes, those are the kinds of prizes I want to give away, man. It's things from people in the community, man. Um, I got a high level of respect for Spartan Leather uh, down in Houston, Texas, man. Um, these are people who actually come out and support the community. And one of the things he does is he don't just go to American Pit Bull Terrier shows, but he actually does the Schutzen shows as well. And his whole business is when he's not at his home station in Texas, is he drives to different dog shows with a van full of materials and just sells them. And he's a constant vendor. You know, I don't think he was on South Bottom's list, man, but I got to get a hold of Brother Carrick and get brother Robert from Spartan Leather out there because man, I'm all
So
about.
that show that's in that South Bottom show, is it no wire kennels allowed?
I got the flyer,
We need
and
to we need to figure that out.
I believe it is. Um, I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm upgrading my kennels with my income tax money this year, man. My traveling kennels because like we were talking about last time, my dogs knocked the I use them traveling kennels now as a dog house because my dogs knocked the daggone door off of it. So even though I zip tied the sides of it closed, the door was the weak point. So I got to go get something a little bit more heavy duty than even those plastic kennels.
Yeah.
If they're not allowed, I need to figure that out because I'm gonna build some metal doors for my barrel, like Lee Robinson built. I'm gonna build the doors out of solid metal. That way they can't get out. And
Mm.
bolt
Yes,
it to the barrel. You know what I mean?
yes,
I
yeah,
sir.
hate
I
that
would
though
say,
because you can't see the dog. Like
yeah,
people walking around and stuff. I have a canopy set up. I like people to be able to see the dogs.
yeah. I
That's
would say
why I
about
use the
those.
wire kennels.
I would say about those wire kennels, man. Just when it's that much dog activity going on, those aren't made to hold a real bulldog. So
I
when
just
you're,
I zip tie the shit out of them, and
yeah,
I've
yeah,
raised
yeah.
my dogs using them, so I don't have no issues with them.
I get it. I get it. Yeah, but
You know,
when they're in a home setting, they're used to your other dogs
I
too,
mean,
so they're not
but I've
constantly trying to.
taken so many dogs to so many shows. I know what my dogs will do.
For sure.
You know what
But
I mean?
this is you speaking. But if we
And
allowed
I
for
don't leave them
everyone,
unsupervised. You know?
everyone else doesn't have that type of control over
Yeah,
their dogs or doesn't have enough smarts to zip tie them the way that you do. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I'd say for those shows, man, if you can,
Well, like that's a
get a
tip for
real kennel.
people if they're gonna show up with zip tie. It like at the pig picking, I zip tie all the corners and the one side door. That way, only one door opens.
Yes, sir.
Always make sure they're good and closed. Just stay consistent.
For
Hey,
sure.
I do want to introduce RBG Lone Wolf, man. I've never seen you on a panel before, man, but welcome, brother. Welcome.
hey, what's
Yeah,
happening?
I just got on to salute you, brothers. I appreciate all y'all do for the dog community, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you. We appreciate you too. And brother, did you want to have anything on the kennels? Because I got one other thing I want to say about those crates in general too. But
You talking to me, Dre?
yes, sir.
No, I was just getting on here to just salute you, brothers, and I guess
Okay.
give you a little bit of where I come from with the dog.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
All right.
with the plastic kennels, them airline carriers. This is what happened with mine, man, and this is why I fear all of them, and that's why I'm going with the metal ones. They're about $300 on Amazon. They're like the ones that the military uses because them flirt poles they were selling at Houston Top Dogs. My dogs are super well trained, right? But they also fire up when they see the tools that I use to train them with. And I had
Yeah,
accidentally, thanks to Faith. that was in here earlier, I had accidentally closed it, but only the bottom side of the door had closed, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um, and luckily,
I've seen dogs push them doors out when they were fully closed. Multiple
Easy
dogs at
work.
different shows. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of them for door dogs.
but check this out. So one of these little kids ran through the there's a holding area for the dogs in most shows. At the pig
Yeah,
picking, you kind of keep your dog where you're at, but at the Houston Top Dogs, they had a roped off area where all the dogs are at. And this little kid ran through there with one of them flirt poles, and luckily there was an older gentleman sitting down watching Saki. And when the kid ran through there with that flirt pole, Saki fired. He'd been calm all day, but he fired up. And
Yeah,
you know, luckily it was some good brothers there that I was over there getting behind some pizza, and they ran and got me. Said, hey man, your dog's about to come out of that kennel.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying. So that's why I just want to upgrade my setup, man, just because I don't want that to happen. You know.
Yeah,
I personally, I use the rough and tough kennels.
Yeah,
I
I think
think
that's the
they're
ones I'm
about,
looking at, man. It's all
you
metal,
know,
right?
no, they're not metal, but they're damn near indestructible. Don't get me wrong, a dog can destroy them, but it will take them a week or so to do it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So you'll notice it by the time it happens. You know what I mean? I've been using them for about 5 years now, man, and it's cut down on all my accidents or what and any dogs getting out and stuff like that. They're just a lot more durable.
When
okay.
I build these barrel crates, I'll post a video of the process on my YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, man, absolutely. Because
Lou Robinson has a really good video on his YouTube of him building one.
yeah, man, it's those that stuff right there. As far as that goes, I do have brother Carter's number for for that South Bottom show, and I'll reach out to him and ask him, man, and we'll publicize as best we can. But like Arrowhead was saying, and most of them the wire crates are banned, and you elevated with you traveling that far, you definitely gonna need that information ahead of time, and I got your
Yeah,
number, so I definitely will.
I'm bringing two dogs.
Yeah, yeah. So we're bringing to it'll be Michonne and Michonne and Saki from out west. I'm pretty sure 601 will probably bring a dog, and if I can trick old Big Hill to coming through, he'll probably bring one or two dogs as well. But yeah, man, it's I would hate to travel that far and then not be able to show because I didn't have the right equipment to show. Another thing that I didn't know was most shows they make you have a 4 foot leash, so I ended up having to buy another leash out there, and I was pissed off about that because I spent a lot of money getting to that show. You know,
Yeah,
I was mad I had to buy a leash when I got there.
Mm.
I've seen leashes break at shows. Cost two dogs to get into it.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
Uh,
whatever precautions that we need to take as a community to keep the environment nice and calm. With people outside lookers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Some of those rules are really clutch. You know what I mean? Because I've seen too many people get loose with the leash. People walking by and their dog bow grab another dog, and now you got a big, disturbance, and you know how that goes.
yeah,
Other people don't understand the breed like we do, so um, that can cause a little bit of a funk, at those shows. So, whatever rules that they're putting in place to keep everyone safe and contained, man, I'm all for it.
yeah,
yeah.
yes, sir. That's Let me ask y'all this: Do y'all give y'all dogs food at the show?
Never. I just
No,
never
I don't
have
really.
because we don't associate food with working time. You know what I mean? And when you're at those shows, you're pretty much putting in work. You know what I mean? So I'll feed the day before, and that day we won't eat until that night when it's time to head home.
Yeah. So I don't do food at the show, but what I do is, and y'all see this, I will have a Ziploc bag, like a little baggie with just a little bit of Dine in there, and let them lap it up to give them a little bit of glycogen or glucose during the shows, man. Because like I typically fast at least 24 hours prior to the show,
Hmm.
and like when you're doing a morning and evening show or like an all weekend show, I like to give them a little something something.
Yeah.
I've only been to shows that are 1 day long. I would love to get some information for those brothers that get their motel rooms and they show on multiple days. as far as the feeding and stuff goes, because I don't have anything to give on that.
For sure. I think that's a good tip. The biggest thing is about just keeping those dogs hydrated the day of. Making sure that they're good. I'll start that morning off with
What's it doing?
some. I'll start that morning off with some Pedialyte. I'll
Okay.
mix a little bit of bee pollen, you know, and
Yeah.
I'll do maybe a handful of blueberries, simple stuff like that, just to give them the energy they need to make it through the day.
As
Yeah.
as far as motels go, I stay at Red Roof Inns. I try to find Red Roof Inns. They're usually good. They don't care about the dogs.
Yeah.
They're out. They're a motel, not a hotel. So you like have
Yep.
outside access.
Yep.
Boy, I got
That's
so
where
many
I
red
used to be
roof
at.
fans. I got
Yeah.
man, I
With the
got so many
dogs.
stories
Yeah.
for red roof.
With the dogs. Yeah.
I had
Yes.
I had 6 dogs in one motel room at a Red Roof Inn.
Yeah. I had 4 of them one time. Yeah. Pups though. One
No, these
adult,
were
3
grown dogs
pups.
that were at the pig picking.
Yeah.
They didn't care. I just brought my crates in, set them up. They all stayed in their crates.
Yeah.
So I got this little badge I got
I
my
mean,
wife for me for Father's Day, and so the blessing is my dogs are registered as service animals or emotional support animals, so I can stay at most establishments even if they have a pet policy because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I even had one of my partners on my team. He took a picture of my badge, and when he was moving to Mississippi, and because the old Yeller dogs look so much alike, they didn't even question it, and he was able to stay at his motel with a picture of my badge. I thought it was
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
now we did sneak 2 puppies in a Marriott in Louisiana. We did do that. You weren't supposed to have no dogs, but they were good. They were perfect. Didn't make a noise. Didn't use the bathroom. They were little.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I highly suggest everyone goes and do that service dog thing online. Because
Yeah.
it's clutch for all different type of situations, man. Emergency situations, if you have to move, in the instance, no one can deny you. Then you kind of like just speak with the a doctor's online through a Zoom call, and you receive your certificate, and no one can turn you down after that. So
Okay.
I suggest you put your main dogs, you get them done. The ones that you know are going to be with you for a while. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I got to give a special shout out, man. Swamp Thing Melee in the building, Almighty One, and the great brother and member of the channel, Henry James, man. Salute to all of y'all. And I
Yeah.
also covered this earlier about the memberships, man. I have memberships as low as $1. Any show that I ever throw, if you're a member, I don't expect you to pay for it. You already paid it forward. But also any suggestions that I do, I always take members stuff higher touted. So if the members want me to judge a show, it's going to be judged. If the members want us to do voting, and then typically I'm going to go with what my members say, man. So just shouts out to all the members, man, and all the guys that support.
Yes, sir.
Big A, you like you about to work? You about to work out? Or you about to work the dog?
I've been just doing dips this whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I gotta get my 100 push-ups in. The doctor said not to do them for the next week or so, just because
Yeah.
what I got going on. But after that, y'all, we 90-day. Can we just start the 90 days when I come back from convalescent leave? But we're doing a 90-day challenge to get to 1,000 push-ups in a day.
40, and 40 minutes, 45 minutes, 40,
I,
no more than
I
45 minutes.
didn't say that. But Big A has done this before. I normally do classical weightlifting, man, but I just want to encourage y'all when we say building better dogs and building better people, man. I want y'all to be healthy, bro, because
Yeah.
I don't want to see when I see one of y'all say y'all in the hospital or something like that, man. It genuinely bothers me because I pray as a human being. I've prayed for people and they still died, because that
Yeah.
was in their plan for them to go at that time, man. So
For
uh,
real.
positive, healthy lifestyle for everybody, man. So my brother's over there doing dips right now, man, and for all of y'all, man, just be as healthy as you can, bro. And try, if you can grow your own food, man. And
For
back,
real.
back
Yeah.
over back over to y'all, brothers.
Yeah.
Hey, Dre, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What made you get in that protection lane?
Yeah. What made you get into protection?
Uh,
Yeah.
so there's been honestly, the dogs taught me protection long before I started wanting to train it. My first dog I got was a backyard pit. Her name was Misha, and she was a cur. Back then, I was under the age of 17, and all my partners just wanted to they just wanted to roll them in the backyards and stuff, and try to look like the real dog man. And what ended up happening was she was a cur. She was scared. She was scary. She see another dog, tail tucked, ears back, just a cur. But one day my sister was cussing me out. I mean, cussing me out because the dog had done something in her room, probably bit up a shoe or something, or pooped on her carpet or whatever. And
Yeah.
the dog fired up, bro. I'm talking about this cur. This dog that
Yeah.
I was embarrassed to walk around the neighborhood because she wasn't going to bite a flea to protect herself, fired up, right? And this is an early age. Okay, so flash forward, I get into the military and I buy a dog, and he was a pure Chinaman Maverick dog. And with him, he was worming real bad. I took him home, and once again, no training at all. After he got healthy again, people would come over, and you could pet him as long as you didn't do nothing weird or make no sudden movements. You could pet him, but you couldn't break in my house. If I left that house, you couldn't open that door, and there was no training involved. Flash forward to stage 3, I go to Kuwait, and I'm deployed to Kuwait, and I'm working security detail at the main gate. And what happens when the trucks come through there, we check the trucks for bombs, but they also had these dogs out there, these police dogs working out there, military police dogs. And I watched that dog attack, and I watched this girl. She had to be 5'2", soaking wet with rocks in her pockets. 120 pounds, soaking wet with rocks in her pockets. And I watched this dog in full attack be caught. She said, "Out here," and that dog let go and came back. And
Yeah.
prior to that, I'd only seen dogs fire up because it was just naturally in them to be protective. And I had never seen it in person. You see it on the internet. I don't believe all the stuff I see on the internet, but when you see that happen like that in person in a real deployed environment, you know, I was like, man, what kind of power or what kind of training is there that exists that you can take a dog that can be completely docile in one moment, tell it to attack, and then tell it to go back to being calm. And that's what started my journey into how is this possible? And
Right.
that's what triggered me into wanting to do the protection stuff, man, was the ability to know that a dog could be that powerful and at the same time have controlled aggression.
Okay. That's
Okay,
what's up.
we in
Mason in
similar
his
we
young
in
age would
similar
bite a
lanes.
sleep.
Gonna
Go ahead,
say
bro.
we in similar lanes because I don't do protection, but I
Hmm.
deal I deal with my dogs more on like junkyard dogs. Like they guard my yard, the
Okay.
household, and the immediate family. You know what I mean?
Like
But
sentry
I
dogs.
know
They protect the area.
yeah, yeah. I gotta walk my dogs at night or early in the morning when ain't nobody outside type of thing. You know what I mean? Because they not on the protection level as far as once they get turned on, it'd be hard for me to turn them off type of thing.
Yeah.
So I just deal with them on that level. But I don't train them to do that. You know what I mean? It's more like forming a bond with them. They love me, the family or whatever, and they basically do it naturally,
Right.
like you were saying.
Hey,
So
but I
that
want
yeah, we in similar lane. That's what kind of brought me to your channel because people say they shouldn't be used for that or whatever, but I don't got no dog to just sit around and look pretty in my face. You know what I mean? You got to be
Yeah.
doing some type of work. If
Yeah.
you in my household, you eating, you got somewhere to lay your head. You got to be doing some type of work.
Yeah.
And I love the dogs. I love the dogs, but hey, you got to do something. You just can't be sitting around here looking pretty on the couch somewhere. Like, nah, you got to be outside in that yard.
Yeah.
yeah, man, and
So
one of
that's why I asked you that question about probably a couple videos ago about what we supposed to call them, pet bulls or something. Because ever since I was young, I always seen a pit bull somewhere that was ready to eat you alive if you cross that gun line.
yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. And I want to say this too, man, because given that I see a constant pressure, I'm gonna give you my right back, bro. But a lone wolf, I saw this guy, and I don't agree with this guy. his life, like his outlook on things. But he made a video the other day, and it was very very profound. And this is why I say you can't go around arguing with people without looking at their work. And he made a video, and it was said, "I don't take my dogs and try to supply." And I had just done a video on track to supply, so I felt like it was a shot at me. But I listened to the video anyways, and I learned. And what he said was, "I don't take my dog and track to supply, not because I don't want them trained in tractor supply, but my dog is a guard dog. I take my
Yeah.
dog truck to tractor supply so that you can't go in my truck while I'm in tractor supply. That's a guard dog." And I was like,
Uh.
"How
Right.
feel about
Oh
that?"
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hey, I think I like this topic, man. Me
Well, one
personally,
of Mason's sons, I bet you $100 you won't touch his truck.
yeah, you right,
yeah.
bro. I want to hear what constant pressure got to say on this one, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Me personally, I've been having American Pit Bull Terrier since I was 6 or 7 years old. But
Yeah.
I've never been able to get them to want to guard or bite someone. Um,
Right.
it's crazy because my whole life I've never raised a dog that wanted to bite a human being. Um,
Right.
it's just never happened. Like there is, I think it's something about my personality that they just say, hey, we don't need to
They
protect
threw it
him, or
up.
we don't. I have a partner though. I'll send him one of my grown dogs. I'll send him one of my. He'll have the dog for uh, a year and a half, 2 years. By the time I go back to see that dog will get me if he want him
Yeah. Yeah.
to.
Yeah, that's
you
because of
know.
that bond he formed with him. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, you know. And
That love he give him.
for
Yeah.
me, I never looked at them, as a protection dog. You know what I mean? So I see some people, when people walk by, they may, hey, watch them, and stuff, little things like that, so they'll have their attention on potential danger or strangers. You know what I mean? But me,
Yeah.
I've never found no interest in that part. Not to take anything away from it or anything, because I see some people who do great work. But yeah, just me personally, I've never been able to.
yes, sir. Hey, elevated,
Yeah.
Some
elevated.
of
You sent
it's,
me a post. You sent me a
uh
post the
huh,
other day. Was that Gary Hammond that said what he said about
yeah,
man? Can you
being
kind of elaborate
protection
from that?
dog. He said that they make a good dog for anything protection, catch dogs, pets, companions.
Yeah.
I mean, he covered the whole spectrum.
For sure, the American Pit Bull Terrier will do anything. They're smart enough to do anything. They're
Yeah.
smarter. They're smart enough to do anything better than any other dog at what they do. And like
Well,
what's the name say? And he said, I think he said, and they'll whoop you too.
Yeah.
yep, that was Luke Colby. So
Okay.
thinking
That's
that they
true.
should only be for one thing and using them for only one thing is closed minded, and I
Mhm.
just ain't closed minded. I don't like that.
No doubt.
Right.
I love these dogs long before I knew what they were bred to do.
Hmm.
I was
Right.
raised
I
around them, so
second
I don't
that.
care about that shit. It don't mean nothing to me if your dogs have done this and that.
Yeah.
I really don't care. Either I like the dog or I don't.
Right.
Really.
The big
Okay.
thing about it is why I always I think some people associate with like doing protection work with being negative with the pit bull terrier is because they already have a bad rep. You know what I
Right.
mean? So when people see
Yeah,
them,
but that rep ain't from the real pit bull terrier, so
exactly,
that's
you're
just
right.
criminal out of association.
You're right, but
Just
Yes.
but
because you got a big head and
the
some.
whole world is influenced by these thoughts. You know what I mean? When you
Yep.
walk your pit bull down the street, everyone's gonna cross over the other street side of the street. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I mean, so I don't agree with it because I know what the pit bull is and I know what they're capable of. They're capable of doing both. You know that you can turn them on and turn them off if you demand that type of respect from them. You know what I mean? And if you
Mm-hmm.
spend that type of time. But another thing is, which I don't always promote it, uh, the American Pit Bull doing protection work because 80% of the people who own the breed, they don't know how to properly contain them. You know
Right.
what I mean? So a lot of people, they get these
Yeah.
dogs and they want to make them mean and stuff like that, and then they spend 12 hours at work and their dog is digging under the fence or their dog is going over the fence or you know what I mean. And then so you got a problem and the police is there when you get home. because they
Yeah.
don't know how to properly contain them. And a lot of people who've had the American Pit Bull Terrier for years and years, they don't even know how to contain them properly. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I see all the time, oh, dog got loose. Oh, he ran away. He did this. He woo 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 woo. Well, it's because you're not properly containing the dog. When you have a dog of this caliber, you have to go out there every daily and you have to check those chain spots. You have to go out there daily and check those kennel corners and make sure they're not pushing through those kennels. You got to go out there and check your perimeter fences and make sure there's no holes. You know what I mean? If you're not willing to
Yeah.
do this, there's no reason why you should even own the dog. You know what I mean? For real.
So
And
let
That's
me get
true.
what you're saying is you actually got to be a responsible owner to have these dogs in general.
That part. That
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
And
yeah,
Well,
if you're not, you're just giving the responsible owners a bad name. You know what I mean? And I don't support that one bit. Because it's people like me and a lot of these people on these panels who this is our lives. This is our
yep,
livelihood. This is what we live for. So
yeah.
once they crack that hammer on us, we're going down with the people who are ignorant. And
And
we're no different than them.
yeah, and it's police canines that get out the out their confinements and bite innocent people too. So
well, and they get out of their confinements as in they bite too aggressively and they're cold for that.
Mhm.
I
yeah,
mean, you're not
but
trying to maim somebody. You're not trying to kill somebody with that
yeah,
protection dog. You're trying to subdue them.
but what I'm saying is uh the level of responsibility dealing with any working dog. You know what I'm saying? And then having somebody who's supposedly qualified to handle that type of working dog, and that dog gets loose from their personal confinement and bites somebody is a problem.
Hey,
Yep.
I gotta stop the show real quick. My brother, student for like dog training, is in the building, and
Hey,
and brother Greg is another great example of somebody like Greg trains as a business. I train I'm a hobby trainer.
right,
And also another thing that you said, brother Constant Pressure and brother Lone Wolf and brother Elevated, is no matter what you do with your dog, man, it has to match your lifestyle. If you're a rancher with 30 acres, your dog might be able to do things that my dog can't do just because of proximity to other people. So it you gotta take all that into account whenever you decide whatever it is, dog.
yeah,
Well, everybody's story ain't going to be the same, and it would be boring if it was.
right,
Mhm.
This dog
And
game
as
wouldn't be
far as
what it
like
is
my,
if
I,
everybody's
I, I
story was
give
the
my
same.
dogs. I say I do basic obedience with my dog. You know what I mean? And
right,
as far as I don't necessarily train them to bite. You know what I mean? It's more like they got a bond with myself, my family, and like when they get like a certain age, I do certain little tests to see where they at. You know what I mean? As
right.
far as protecting our yard, the household, and our family. Basically, that's it. But I don't train to bite and all that type of stuff. That's why I say
Yeah,
they more like guard dogs instead of protection, personal protection. Because I know personal protection, you should be able to take out with you, have them in certain places or whatever. But the ones I'm dealing with, I don't do that with. Like I said, I'll walk them late at night or like early in the morning, get back in the yard and let them do their thing. But if you cross that gun line as far as my household or whatever, they gonna deal with until them people come help you or whatever.
And see that right there is big, man. Okay, so for me, my goal as I move forward, and the more freedom I get, the closer I get to retirement, I know that the things I want to do, I don't necessarily need protection from people. That's why if you ever notice, I do protection work, but that's not my. I'm not one of those kennels that says, "Hey, we do personal protection work." But this is the thing, man. Okay, I want to be able to hunt and fish and take a dog with me out in the woods and know that between me and that dog, we got each other's back no matter what. No matter what.
Right.
I don't.
Well, I mean, I've had a bunch of weirdos walk up on me while fishing, and I mean, it's always nice to have Mason there because he'll bark at them.
and,
Yeah.
and let them know. Don't,
It's
don't
a
get too
nice
close.
peace
You
of
know what I
mind.
mean? Back up.
Well, and again, I'll bring it up. I have a vision problem. So sometimes they'll see them before I do.
Brother Elevator, you going in and out. You going in a little bit, man.
I'm
That's that,
glad I thought that was me.
that's that cricket service.
But yeah, man. Cause like out here, for example, there
I'm in a bad spot.
you good, bro.
No,
I,
no,
out here,
I'm Boost Mobile, but I'm in a bad spot.
I'm just fucking with you, bro.
out here where I'm at,
So
bro.
I'll
There's
probably have to jump off.
and literally
Okay,
even at the parks where I walk my kids to, you'll go out there and find needles on the ground, man. You know that
it's crazy.
I didn't have that in North Carolina, where I grew up at, man, because everybody knew everybody. It was a population of 1,700 in my hometown, and it just was like that. Oh, brother Yurok the Noble's in the building, man, and
Hey,
brother Yurok is another one, man, a constant
Hey,
supporter, man, and I just want to say, man, I appreciate you being here, bro.
yes,
Uh,
sir.
but yeah, man, y'all, this is good. This is good, just fellowship, and I want to keep it going, man. So as long as y'all got time, man, we keep rocking out, man. We talk about whatever y'all want to talk about.
man, I ain't gotta be
Okay,
at work until 3:15, man.
that's what's up.
That's why I sent you that question a little while back, Dre. When they're like, "Dang, we got to reclassify dogs because they do this." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I ain't never know we had to reclassify them because we got them doing,
You're right.
what we want them to do.
Yeah,
Now
definitely.
you don't, and you don't. This, you know, what I wanted to do by reclassify my dogs and just doing my own thing was this. Um, I I have gotten so caught up in this YouTube thing that it's gotten me into situations and conversations that have nothing to do with my mission as a person, right? And so I'm drawing a line to separate myself from anything that doesn't represent what I'm trying to represent. And so I realized the best thing to do is to, if you want something the way you want it, you got to make it your own. You know, as long as you share it with people that don't have like mindedness, it's just going to cause division. And it's not to bring division; it's to bring unity through differences. Like
right,
Right.
do yours as a guard dog. I do mine. Honestly, I look at mine as a pet that will bite, not as a personal protection dog. You know,
right.
and that's just what it is for me.
Okay.
But
And
yeah,
like before I even like I just as of recently started jumping in the chat like you going hard candles and Buck City. Even 7-8. Like 7-8 was the one that really introduced me to everybody, all the dog talk type of channels. So before I jumped in any chat, man, I've been watching y'all for a while, just sitting back watching, seeing what's going on in the community. And I thought I joined the chat when everything died down. Like a lot of stuff has started back up. You know what I mean? So that was part of the reason I wasn't in the chat. Like I've been watching everybody for a nice little while before I jumped in the chat, just to see who was who. You know what I mean? But like I say, hopefully everybody can unify around these dogs, man. Because I wish this was around when I was when I first got a dog. Like man, I've been dealing with these dogs, man, over like 20 years. Not just pit bulls, but I done had all type of dogs. And that was one thing about them. Whatever dog we had, you had to protect the yard and the family. I mean, it don't matter what type of dog you were. You getting fed good and you got a nice place to stay. You have to protect your house and the family. That's
Well,
that's basically how we was raised up.
yes, sir. And
Just
also
couldn't just
with
couldn't be sitting in there looking pretty and all this. Like, no, ain't no putting no sweaters and all this type of. I don't know what's going on with all that type of stuff.
what you just said was big because growing up, my grandfather had 13-inch beagles. We even had Sooners just mutts. All right, Sooners is sooner or later you're gonna figure out what all is in it. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
uh, and same thing, man. You know those dogs. They were on chains, and my grandfather would build pens for them depending on what the dog needed as for its enclosure. You know, but all of these things, man. As far as the unity goes, man, I don't know. I think some things have been said overall in the community that can't be taken back, and not looking to backtrack. as far as my little influence I have on YouTube, man, I want to make it better, and I'm not gonna make it better by continuing the nonsense, bro. And that's why I want to
Fact.
Right.
restructure my chat and get it back right, but get back on the.
Hey,
Yeah.
one thing I
Fact.
could
The
say
right, the
about your
righteous
channel,
path.
man. One thing I could say about your channel, man, is always the utmost respect when it comes from you. You know what I mean? I always see you giving love to people, showing love to people, and bigging people up. You know what I mean? And that's what the community needs more than tearing each other down. Because at the end of the day, the people who want to take this breed away from us, they're sitting back and they watch it, and it's just giving them more fuel. You know what I mean? And
Most
so,
definitely.
man, I congratulate you and appreciate you for this platform, man, because it's bringing brothers together, and it's allowing us to have like-minded conversations and conversations that differ in opinions. You know what I mean? But still possess one thing, and that's the respect. You know what I mean? So, so that's love. I appreciate you for that, brother.
Man, I appreciate y'all, bro. And I gotta give a shout out to brother Dickie Foster, man. Dickie Foster, a longtime supporter of everybody. You know what? Greater than my contributions, I would say Dickie Foster is what I strive to do as far as being able to support everybody consistently. And like what that sentiment you said, I don't just want to impart that upon me, but all of y'all. Because constant pressure, I ain't never seen no hate. I've seen you get hated on, but I ain't never seen you throw no hate, no shade to nobody. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, man? So you say that to give me a feather in my hat, man. But RBG Lone Wolf, I appreciate you watching and figuring it out for yourself, man, and being a free thinker. And just salute to everybody, bro.
Yeah.
And likewise, bro.
Much love, much love. I think a big part of that, man, goes back to how you were raised, man. You know,
Yep.
if you were raised by the right people who were into, maybe they wasn't always into the right things, but they had the morals that they needed to be able to pass on to us, which was the next generation. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
we were taught certain moral ethics. You know what I mean? And one was to mind your business, and one was to don't hate on nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Those are two of the staples, and don't tell on nobody. Let's add that one too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most definitely.
And
See, that's why I feel.
if you stick right
Go
by
ahead,
those
brother.
if you stick by those codes right there, man, you'll never find yourself on the whole end of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nah, for real.
So my 2-year-old has figured out now when he hits one of his older siblings, he'll run in the living room and tell my wife and I that he hit one of his older siblings, and they'll come out the room, oh, we about to get in trouble. And
Yeah.
the first thing I ask my 2-year-old is, well, what did you do that
Uh-huh.
made what did they do to you that made you hit them, and vice versa? Why did they hit you?
Yeah.
And next thing you know,
Yeah.
oh, he went in the room and threw the remote at them and hit them first. And
Yeah.
I'm teaching them that lesson early, man. You can't throw the remote and hit somebody and then come running back to me and tell on them because they bigger than you and they whoop your behind. Um, yeah, man. Hey, Student of Life said he about to start a new channel. Student of Life, when you do, feel free to come over here and promote it anytime, brother, anytime. Because
Hmm.
there ain't been nothing but solid too, brother Greg, man. I gotta salute you, man.
Hmm.
Uh, also, my brother Arrowhead in the chat has a channel. Brother Dickie Foster has a channel. Brother Supreme has a channel. And Supreme
Yeah.
his channel on here when I passed the mic around. Constant Pressures has a channel, and brother RBG. I don't know if you have a channel, but if you do, and you want to grow it, man, I will definitely do everything I can to promote it and help it grow.
Brother,
Yeah.
I'm gonna think I'm gonna stand down on that channel thing and just support the brothers that already get it because I see all the politics that come along with it. So I just be sitting back
Yeah.
taking notes, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Sir, and I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you. It takes a lot, man, to because even sometimes I've said stuff on here, man. I'm like, I didn't articulate that message good enough, and like, dang, I wish I could go back and clarify that up, right now. But it's
Hmm.
already out there, So yeah, man, I know what you mean by that, bro.
Yeah.
So
Without
I
a
most
doubt.
definitely appreciate all the righteous dog man that try to give a knowledge and bring that positive vibe to the community, man. We
Yeah.
most definitely need that.
And see, you know what I think what troubles me the most, man, about that word you just used, man. I I try my damnedest to never call myself a dog man. Neo dog man, yes, but dog man, no, because between dog man, American Pit Bull Terrier, and gameness, those words, that title
Them
overshadow.
fighting words.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? For me, and that's why I'm like, man, you know what? I don't care about none of those terms. If somebody salutes me and gives me that term, man, I look at it as the ultimate respect. But at the same time, man, everybody who's ever tried to tear me down on publicly says these fake dog men. I'm like, I have never called myself a dog man, never.
Yeah, and,
So
and
See,
when I
I
said
guess
oh my bad, when I
go
said
ahead, brother.
fight,
No, you
yeah,
go
when
ahead,
I
brother.
said fight words, I wasn't talking about the box. I was just talking about general. Like you say, some disrespectful than fighting words. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but go ahead,
See,
bro. My bad.
I consider I thought a dog man was somebody that had love for the dog. I didn't know it was just you just had to be dealing with pit bulls or something. Thought it was somebody that had love for the dog. They life, their whole life or something. You know what I mean? That's what I
Yeah,
consider a dog man. No matter what type of breed you had, either. You know what I mean?
and see,
yeah,
what you just said is why I want to delineate a neo dog man from the term dog man, because for a neo dog man, it's like you said, a person has love for the dogs, but also has respect for themselves. You know,
Right.
and that terminology, I love the term dog man and what I thought it stood for, but I had to retro it because there's a lot of things that can be misconstrued with the old school term, and so I had to put my own
Okay.
yeah, I had to put my own spin on it.
Okay. I got
But RBG Lone Wolf, man, everything you said, man, is valid. And I believe everything you said is accurate from that standpoint. Like you said, I didn't know I didn't know you had to call it something different to do something different. That's
you.
what
Yeah.
everybody that's free thinkers thinks the same way you think. I completely agree with you. But when people address me, I want them to say, you know what, he ain't a dog man. Cool, I ain't a dog man. I ain't trying to be one. I'm trying to be what I'm trying to be. And uh, and I'm not gonna let a term like that stop me from taking care of my dogs and doing the right things with these dogs and sharing my experiences with these dogs.
Man, it's these new generation people who have everything misconstrued, man. You got when it comes to being a gangster. Nowadays, you're not considered a gangster unless you do your dirt and you tell everybody what you do.
yeah.
Those people are trying to be glorified. You know what I mean? And
That wasn't
it's
gangsters
it,
of me. The
it's
gangsters that brought the gangsters I know move in silence. I ain't know you
exactly.
supposed to broadcast everything.
Right, right. But these new
Yeah,
people, they want to talk about what they did, and that's how they're getting their stripes and their points, and that's what they want you to do. When that's when they use this term so-called dog man. If you're not running around telling everybody what you got going on, then you're not considered a real dog man. You know what I
and that
mean?
yes, man.
We're all in different regions and different states, and we don't owe nobody no explanation on these platforms of nothing. You know what I mean? So let them have their opinions of
True.
you and just keep on pushing. You know what I mean? Just keep on
Hmm.
pushing. You know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
And
Most
see,
definitely.
that we've been hollering that from the beginning. I that you like, yes, man, 1000%.
the chat really, everything y'all saying, the chat is echoing it right now, man. They're saying
Yeah,
this. So it's an agreed upon thing, and that's where I have to like move over here to the side and say, who's really about just doing their work and letting their work speak to them, and who feels like it has to have some kind of over sensationalized story behind it. Um,
yeah. Like if I gotta sit up here and like try to tell you my past to get respect, to try to get you to respect me, the whole point is lost to begin with, man. You respect the person before you and what you see. You know what I'm saying, and what they offer, man. That's it. You know what I'm saying? All
Most
that
definitely.
extra stuff, man. Like if I gotta sit up here and tell you I was this and that back in the day, man, da 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 da, man, it's to me on the surface, man, it's like you going through a whole bunch of accolades to try to get somebody to respect you, to look at you a different way. You try to paint a picture. No, man, I see you for who you are. I could look at your dog and be like, damn, I know one thing, he takes care of his dogs. You know what I'm saying? I could see, all types of stuff, but like at the end of the day, man, like all of that stuff, man, people talking. Man, this stuff is WWE, man. When
Right.
you on social media, it is WWE. Cause you know what I'm saying? Cause I mean, for real. Cause like at the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, all the people that really get that are into whatever they are into, it doesn't matter if it's A, B, C, or D, and they sincerely with it. This social media has nothing to do with it. They not on here trying to beat on their chest and try to get recognition. They in the field doing whatever they do, legit, illegit, whatever, A, B, C, or D. It don't matter. It ain't my business because and you wouldn't even know it because it ain't your business either. But the people that get up here and want to say, "Hey, man, I just did this, and that," you got to respect that now. Y'all some fools. Y'all some idiots. Y'all are hot as fire grease, and anybody standing next to you gonna get that greased on their shirt.
Right. Them is the
Period.
same. Them is them same people whose dogs got 1,000 fleas on them, running around in the yard without no water in their water bucket. The
No, my
same. They
soul.
worried about the wrong things, man. You know what I mean?
That
But
sound
at the
like them
end of
Facebook groups.
Hey,
at the end of the day, to bring it all back down to earth, like all of that stuff is WWE, man. When you just sitting there talking about just the like the conversations that we were just having today, that man, that hits home for everybody, for the common person, for the newcomer, for the OGs, for everything. Everybody can come get some solid information without having to worry about no drama, no anything. Cause you know what I'm saying? And nothing ain't nothing illegal being promoted. We sitting there trying to find other innovative ways to reach out to other people to make better people through these dogs and make better dogs through these people. Period.
hey, and let me say this real quick too, man. Constant pressure. I want to use you and Arrowhead because I'm gonna keep it G with y'all. I'm a human. I'm a human. I'm not exalted above anybody. I just got a channel. I talk on it. Okay. When I saw that black dog at that show, okay, this is what happened, and hear the whole story. Everybody listening to this portion of the show, hear the whole story. When I saw that dog Coda that the Arrowhead has, when I saw that black dog that you had at that show, the humanity in me seeing a dog that I felt in my spirit was superior made me jealous. Okay, now this is the difference with that jealousy. The difference with my jealousy and other people's jealousy is when I get jealous, I don't get jealous and try to tear it down. The first thing I go to do is okay. Now that I know that there's something to strive for, there's something beyond what I have. I have not reached the pinnacle. That's something I need to strive toward. So either I need to find out from that person or breed to that person or do business with that person to build myself up to where it is I want to be, not hate on them. The second
Yeah.
thing is whenever
Which
I see something that makes me jealous, because jealousy is your lower self. When you get jealous, you can do two things. You can either get jealous and make yourself better, or and my thing is that if I see something that makes me envious, that's what I need to be talking about and big up in it because it spurred me. It was so strong. It was so powerful when I saw it that I had nothing to do but either hate on it or congratulate it. And my choice when I see something like that is to congratulate it.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
You said which dog was it that he brought out?
So for Arrowhead, it was Coda because Coda looks like the dogs that my cousin that put me in the game has, and that
Right.
black dog was just something that was clearly superior to 99 other dogs in the vicinity. And all of these supposed to be. Mona Watts was there, y'all. By the way, I don't think y'all understand this. Miss Mona Watts, the person with the most wins in ADBA history, was at that show, and her dogs wasn't fucking with that dog, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, Melee said my old lady say I love my dogs more than her. Motherfucker ain't gonna tell me I ain't.
Yeah.
I be trying to keep that line real thin. I be my
Yeah.
yeah. My dogs love me more than my dog love me more than she love. I mean, well, you know, it's gonna be like that anyway, cause I'm him.
Yeah, it's gonna feel like that to him because man, the dogs depend on us a lot more than anything else in the world. If
Yeah.
we don't make it home tonight, our dogs don't eat. If we don't
Yeah.
make it home tonight, our dogs' kennels don't get clean. You know what I mean? If we don't make it home tonight, our dogs end up we don't know where. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a lot more responsibility. When it comes to our woman, they can choose to go somewhere else anytime and be taken care of.
And the reason these dogs made me not everything you just said, they get taken away or they don't get clean or fed. That stopped me from doing a whole lot of BS these last couple years. Cause I'm like, what I look like going to jail. Plus, I got kids, so and he in high school. So I'm like, man, I ain't trying to lose my dogs, man. And that's the one way. Doing something stupid.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
I want to welcome my brother, Student for Life Dog Training, to the panel, man. Welcome, brother, Student for Life.
Salute.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
Oh, he probably still said it because I don't know if y'all know this. For those of y'all who don't use StreamYard, when you
Hmm.
come in, it typically makes you fill out some stuff or whatever. Your screen name, your
Yeah.
avatar. So a lot of times it's some technical difficulties when somebody first joins the chat, man. But definitely, man. Yeah. And let me read him and James' comment. He says it's easier to keep a dog happy than a person. You know what? I ain't seen too many dogs that ain't happy with their person. And you could be an ain't shit person and dogs still gonna love you.
Yeah. Yeah. Big facts. Yeah.
Barn dog, salute, big dog, salute. Yeah, man. It's there I think that I want to start interviewing some of the homeless people here, man. I don't know if any of y'all ever been to Arizona, Phoenix or Tucson. These are the two biggest cities in Arizona. The homeless people here, like before I call myself a dog trainer publicly again, man, I got to interview one of these homeless people because I promise you, these guys got dogs and they'll be like pit mixes, like little like you could tell they pit mixes like little blue dogs and stuff like that. But they're built nice. But these
Hmm.
guys will take that dog and sit it down at the bus stop and leave and go in the store to get them a cigarette or whatever it is they're gonna get. And that dog will sit there. You better not touch it, but that dog will sit there until that person comes back. And I know top tier trainers, both on YouTube and off YouTube, that can't get their dog to do that, man. And
Yeah.
I think that comes from the I think what RBG Lone Wolf saying the bond. Like these people literally live in a tent with that dog nonstop. So the dog has to be clean. The dogs are cleaner than the person typically. And
Yeah.
I got to start getting real life people. I'm not saying y'all not real life, but people who are they live with these dogs and they have just a crazy amount of respect from me for what they do. Barn dog, what's up, big dog? Brother, student flight, welcome back. I don't know if you can hear me, brother, student for life, but you in here whenever you're ready, man. Just let me know, and I'll cue it up where you can.
Hey, brothers, how y'all doing?
What's going on,
Oh,
big
hey, there you go.
Much love, brother.
Salute.
I can hear, but it's like a lag on mine or something. What do I need to do?
I don't know, man. It might just be the connection, man. But what I'll do is I'll go ahead and pause for a few seconds so you can catch up, and then you go ahead and give your spiel, brother.
All right, let me see. Ain't no static or nothing on my end.
No,
We can
sir.
hear
No,
you just
sir.
fine.
Loud and clear.
Oh, I think I got it right, man. Just wanted to tap in and man, first off, just salute everybody on the panel, brothers. I'm telling y'all, y'all are doing an awesome job sharing great information, man. I put in the chat, I was like, man, I really needed to hear this. I really need to catch this live, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all real some like-minded individuals, solid individuals, man, and I really appreciate this, man. Really appreciate this. Appreciate all the contributions y'all make. Like I said, man, Welsh is like, just a wealth of knowledge. Constant pressure kills. That young man is the future of our breed, man. Y'all are the catalyst for change, man. And don't nobody else tell y'all that. Y'all appreciate it, man, by a professional.
Yeah.
Much love, brother. Appreciate that.
Salute and thank you,
For
brother.
sure.
Thank. Shouts out to Heart and Finish Kennels in the chat as well, man. Heart and Finish, bro. I appreciate you, man. The brother was talking me through. Sunday. I was telling him I was a little bit nervous about my little procedure I had done the other day, man. And man, big shouts out and working the dogs in the snow. In the snow. And
Yeah.
we don't get no snow out here, you know what I'm saying? So salute to all y'all brothers that got dogs in the snow. I can't even begin to tell you how to husband them in the snow because even when I was in North Carolina, there might have been 3 real snow days where I had to adjust the way I was taking care of my dogs, man.
Yeah.
No doubt. I'm in Central Virginia, bro. We working with about 8 inches right now, so it to shut down schools and all that kind of stuff. So it was good to just have some
Dang.
the world to slow down and just we took the kids
Yeah.
sledding, took the dogs sledding, and you know what I'm saying. They got their workout too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. When
Yeah,
I was
man.
in Texas, we had a snowstorm, and I had my dog Bacardi, and she had never seen snow before. She was running around trying to bite the flakes out of the air as they's falling down. You know what I'm saying? Just, like, what
Yeah.
is this? You know, it must be attacking.
Hey man,
no doubt.
since it's that time of year, why don't we go ahead and touch on some things that we can do to keep those dogs warm during the snow and the ice storms is coming.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Do you mind kicking it off? We'll all jump in and we'll share our 2 cents on the matter.
Yes, sir. I have to say, if your dogs are going to be outdoors this season, man, make sure those houses are insulated, and make sure that they're off the ground. Those are most two important things that you can do for those dogs. And I know a lot of people they like using the hay, but I prefer the straw. You know what I mean? I do. I'll put the cedar chips on the bottom of the doghouse, and I'll put the straw. I'll stuff it with straw, and stuff the dog houses to where those dog houses is dang near so full that the dogs seem like they can barely get in them because they'll get in there and they'll dig just like they would in the wild and create a space for themselves to stay warm. You know what I mean? That's all I got. Much love.
That's that
Yes.
that was spot on. That was spot on about stuffing that doghouse. Another thing that I did, man, I just the snowstorm, everything kind of our weather been crazy, man. So we got these freezing winds coming in, all that kind of stuff. And I use I don't know if anybody familiar with them as well, but pine tags or pine needles. Man, those things retain heat so much that no joke. When I come out in the morning, clean up and everything like that, I put my hand in the box where the dog was laying, and I mean, it's warm to the touch. I don't know what it is. The ones that fall off, I rake them into a pile, and make sure ain't no sticks and none of that. No leaves and all that kind of stuff in there, and place it in there. Pretty much the same way my man was saying about using straw, and I'll use them interchangeably and that kind of thing. They tend not to hold moisture as much as straw and that kind of thing as well. I know some people might have dogs that are sensitive to pine or cedar or whatever else, but just play around with it, see if it works for you. Like if it worked for me, really, it's a free alternative to keeping those dogs warm. I got an unlimited supply of them. Another thing that I did, man, I went to um, Lowe's, and I got some of those uh, carpet runners, like the little plastic Jones people put on their carpet. My grandma and them used to do it, that type of thing. So I cut those and drilled them to the doorways of the doghouse, and just put a little slit in it. So just something to knock some of that, break that wind. So it ain't, coming up there, on the dogs and stuff like that, man. If you can keep a dog relatively warm in these conditions, it's a lot easier to keep weight on them. You know what I mean? And I've noticed a huge difference. This year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Great feedback, bro. Great feedback.
Let me interrupt the show. Say this, man. Brother Dicky said he's in Southwest Virginia with no power, all ice. Brother Dicky, if you need any supplies, whatever, man, let me know, man, and please let me know, man, because like you've been a constant supporter, and I don't know what I don't know, man. Thank you, Hemi James, for that as well. And I will say this, brother Greg, them carpet runners you talk about, man. Is that the ones with the little spikes on the bottom side of them? Because I used to hate them things when like if you walking with your sock on and you step on them
Yes,
little,
sir.
yeah, you
My
step on the
grandpa
bottom
used to
side of
turn them over for us when we come down. My grandpa, boy.
I'm glad you said that about that too. I've also used that as a way to when I'm training a dog to be a house pet and stuff like that. I'll cut that run out and put it on my sofas and my chairs and stuff. You know what I mean? So the dog they don't get used to jumping up there being comfortable. Of course, I teach them off and stuff, but just in case they get slick trying to hop up there, ain't gonna be no place comfortable for them.
yes, sir, yes, sir. Um, but to go back and give RBG or Big A or Supreme, did y'all want to go in on there? Because I also got something to add to what Brother Constant Pressure was saying about keeping them warm.
Oh no, no, not yeah. Y'all got it.
Yeah, I ain't got too much to add myself, man. I done turned my I just recently moved and recently got back into the dogs about like a year or two ago. So we just recently moved. I done turned the whole garage into a kennel. Goddamn it, make sure I keep enough hay in there for them. They be pretty much good. Garage insulated, so they be pretty much good. And I go in there, make sure they decent. I ain't too far from Chicago. I'm from the west side of Chicago, but we moved about 15 minutes into the suburbs. So
Oh man,
that
you talking
that
about
that
real cold
Chicago
then?
weather.
You close to me?
Yeah,
Shit, you say you from the west side?
yeah. Where you at with the Supreme?
Yeah.
I'm off the Austin and Division, bro.
Yeah. Shit, I'm from the
Yeah.
hunt. I'm from the Hunters. I'm from 126th and State, but I stay over here in
You
I stay over here in Maryville right now.
okay? Yeah, you still a native though. You know what I'm talking about?
I
You
ain't
said
still a
you was in
20
a
minutes
hundred.
away.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm from the out west though. I had tried to get my children in a safer environment. You know what I
I
mean? So we
already
even
know.
came out here to the suburb.
Yeah, man. Brother SFK Fred said not only did they have the runners, his grandma had the couches with the plastic on them. And I know
Oh,
if
I
I
remember that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
sir.
with the little candies in the jar.
Yep. And
Hey, we telling our age talk about them runners and stuff, man. And them plastic covers. The young guys might not know about that.
hey, and I had the plastic on the couches, the runner, and then
Mhm.
them little beads that hang. That they call them the hippie beads that hang down. She had that
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know exactly
Yeah, I
what you
remember
mean.
all that, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I was like,
yep.
yeah, those too. But
Hey, I got a question for anybody that could help me out with this, man. Y'all got any tips on foot protection in this weather, man? You know, my dogs, they wanted to, as we were sledding and playing in the snow, man, they was all about it. They didn't want to go in and stuff like that. And they didn't seem to be shivering or too cold because they was active the whole time. But I was concerned with, you know what I'm saying, like, damn, their feet is crunching on ice. I inspected them, pretty frequently and didn't notice any damage or whatever. But y'all got any, any suggestions that could help me out?
Hey man, I love to use those booties that you get from Amazon.
yes, sir.
I
Yes,
u- I
sir.
use I use them all through the year for different reasons. When the cement's
Hmm.
too hot, I use
Hmm.
them. You know what I mean. When the terrain's too rough, I'll use them. You know what I mean. If I just want to be extra protected on my dog's feet, I'll use them. And they work wonders for me. In the beginning, the dog will act like he doesn't really want to walk normal on them, but
High
after a
stepping.
few after a few walks and stuff, they get used to them. You know what I mean.
Hmm.
And for the dogs that don't or want to pull them off, I'll add a little bit of tape to the top of their ankle, where the
Okay.
boot ties down. Just add a little tape. You don't want to ever keep it on there for too long because it can cut off circulation. So right after your workout, you want to remove them. You don't want to do that. So yeah, those
Yeah.
booties are great.
Yeah, the hardest part I had with the booties though was my dogs be wanting to turn them into chew toys, man. So when you first introduce them, depending on how mouthy your dog is, man, just make sure you're making those corrections on them. A lot of times, what I've learned with introducing stuff like that is once the dog, for example, my dogs, it's hot out here. The concrete gets hot, so I would let them walk just a little bit on the concrete to where like they're like, I don't want to do this, and then introduce the booty because a lot of time when the dog themselves sees the value of it, they don't attack it so much or try to tear up your booties so much.
I
Yes,
don't know if y'all can see the cam, but I got some little red rubber jinks, and they got the Velcro straps around them. So it's been a task of trying to get all of them, getting 6 dogs acclimated with it. I got 2 of them that they like it, but it's they high step in, and I guess it's just gonna take a while for them to get acclimated to it. I probably should have been doing that way before winter hit.
Well, yeah, just give them a week or so. They'll act like they're normal.
yeah,
And while you
Appreciate that,
have them
brother.
wearing them, make sure you always got eyes on them. You know what I mean? Because they'll
Yep.
destroy them too real quick if you don't. You know.
yep. I learned that
Thank
lesson
you,
the hard
man. I need that. Like I said,
with my
what
with my dog,
you had some of your dogs chew them up, Dre?
the booties and the harnesses, but it was my fault. Let me start off with accountability. So I got lazy with the booties and the harnesses, and so I would put them. I would I would tell them go home. They go to their crate with the harness on, because I'm thinking that they're not gonna tear up a collar, they're not gonna tear up a harness. And sure enough, they would find a way to get hold of that harness and tear it up. And the same thing with the booty. So supervised use always. Also, you don't want to be having the dog clogging their digestive system with materials they use to make those things either. So definitely like brother Constant Pressure was saying, man, introduce it slowly but surely, just like you would with the muzzle or any other training equipment.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, man,
Oh,
but that's positive. And then back to the to keeping them warm. When I was in the Carolinas, it would be a lot colder, and so I worked at a hardware store, the Big Blue store in North Carolina. If y'all from North Carolina and you are from Elizabethtown, Clinton, or Smithfield, there's only three of them in the state, and is basically the Tractor Supply's competitor in North Carolina, and we used to get these trucks, these tractor trailers, and they would come in with pine straw. You would get regular hay, and the regular hay was kind of stiff. I don't like it for puppies because it could actually stick the dog in their eye or cause injury. But they have this hay. It's called coastal hay. It's super soft. It's almost like a Spanish moss. And I like the coastal hay because it's really good for puppy use. And but the problem with coastal hay is it absorbs moisture very, very quickly. So straw and stuff, the moisture kind of runs to the bottom of it. But with the coastal hay, you have to rotate it out a lot more. And that's what I would do. Also, when I was in Texas, we had a bad winter storm in 2021 called Winter Storm Uri. And I wasn't prepared because Texas doesn't typically have that harsh of a winter. But we had a fireplace and we keep firewood in our garage. And so what ended up happening was my wife, kids, and I, and the dogs, the two dogs I had, my German Shepherd and my pit at the time, um, we all were in front of the fireplace, dogs and family included. And that's how we all use each other's warmth to stay warm. So like how the brothers say, man, like you do what you got to do to make sure your dogs are taken care of, man. And that's what we did, man. And I think when the weather got better, the dogs really appreciated that, and the bond was just even better, man. Just even better.
Yeah, man. Yo, yo.
But yeah, that was a good question, man. As far as the cold weather, that was one thing. Do y'all change up your activities? Are y'all feeding for winter or summer, or do y'all keep it the same?
I I typically during the winter feed more kibble. I you know fill the bowl up to the brim, let them have at it, you know, uh, and just put a little bit of extra weight on them, but nothing over the top unless trying to do some serious work or something. But nah, hey, my wife on lunch.
I
Yes.
I went outside to wipe the snow off my car for work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Now the wintertime, yeah, I put a little bit more. Even though they house dogs, they still like to go outside. And if the winter ain't too crucial, they will be they will be worked in that winter. But I'm trying to
yeah,
have some puppies this year, so
yeah.
yeah, she should come in the heat like in March.
Yeah, my dog does not like the cold at all. At all. I'm talking about at all. She damn near don't want to go outside to use the bathroom sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
She'll step
yeah,
outside, turn around, look at me, and walk right back inside and go lay down. I say, I'll hold it. You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to add one thing too, about trying to keep them dogs warm during these cold months. It's really important that you feed later at night, and
Uh-huh.
um, we always feed heavy during these months, and we do it at night because it helps them get through those cold nights, when those temperatures drop.
Okay.
Sometimes I like to boil. I'll boil up my chicken broth or whatever, and I'll put it over their kibble. You know what I mean? I'll add a little bit of chicken just to give them some extra fat to get through the night. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that really helps those cold states, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
Yeah.
I learned that. I don't know if it was Welsh or who was on here was saying that. I started doing that with my chicken broth Like the other day, I did a video of how I feed my dogs, and
Hmm.
with my rice, I actually cook the rice fresh. So warm rice, chicken broth, and then my proteins and stuff. I put it in there to kind of like level off the temperatures. But yeah,
Hmm.
definitely, I've incorporated that. I learned that from YouTube, listening to the brothers on YouTube, and
Yeah.
I've incorporated giving them warm food at night. Also, that warm food keeps them quieter at night because they're digesting, so they're not as active. And because my dog's barking, everything moving. So
Yeah.
that helps keep them nice and quiet and calm at night.
Hmm.
Yeah, I feed a little different in the colder months as well. They eat a little bit more when it's colder. Feed them a little bit less when it's summertime, and fast them once a week. And
Yeah.
I don't I don't I don't feed my dogs until they get all the way full. I let them stay a little hungry, so they be. I noticed that they be a little bit more on point when they a little hungry. But I feed them, I let them. I don't let them eat until they stop, type of thing.
Yeah.
I just I make sure they get couple cups, 2 cups, and that'll be it for the day. I feed them once a day. But in the winter months, I don't do too much of the fast, and I keep them fed good.
Yeah. Uh, our brother Solo, he out of Milwaukee, man. He keep his dogs on chain setups outside, man. He always he usually got some good information to relay about that too. When I was living in St. Louis, man, I really wasn't active, so I ain't, what I'm saying, I trying to get my life together, you know what I'm saying? But nah. So I wasn't having dogs in that cold around, recently in recent years.
Hey, and so Welsh put a comment in here. Welsh, I don't know who your mentor was, if you taught yourself this, but that's how I fed up until I got on this social media stuff. Was I used to
Yeah.
feed the day, but let me explain to y'all how that worked for me, and I'm pretty sure it's very similar. So when I used to feed every other day, I had the rim with concrete in the bottom, and when I tell you it would be full of water, and I would
Hmm.
put the food in the water, right?
Hmm.
And it would be enough that sometimes there would be food, even on the days where I didn't feed, there would be food left in the water, and I use this chemical called Solmit. It's an orange chemical, just a cap full. Because like in
Hmm.
the summertime, mosquitoes will try to lay larvae in your dog's food water. But the Solmit sterilizes the water where the mosquito larvae cannot survive in there. And I could only get that Solmit, Sulmet, at like you couldn't get it at like no mainstream store. You had to go to them little mom and pop feed stores. And the way it's a real mom and pop feed store, they had this little like, how barbershops got the little barbershop symbol. They have this like little thing outside to be like a white and red checkered little sign out front, and that's how it was like one of them real old school mom and pop feed stores. And that's where we used to buy our chicks from too, because we don't have no tractor supply in my home county. But yeah, I seen that brother Welsh, man, and I was taught that by my mentor that gave me my first dogs. Tony said Purina doggy. And then he also says he adds Welsh also says he also adds leaves apple cider vinegar in the dog's water bowls. I use apple cider vinegar, but I typically use way more of it when I'm trying to get a shape, because it does stimulate fat burning, which means stimulate fat burning. I don't know if y'all know this about just even in your conditioning as a human being. But apple cider vinegar is a fat burner. But to burn fat, you have to raise the body temperature enough to burn calories. So if it's gonna help them burn calories, it's also gonna help them generate heat. So definitely a good comment to put in there, man, and I appreciate that. Um, but for y'all brothers, we've been on here for 3 hours and 17 minutes. I'm gonna pass the mic around again. You know what I'm saying? Unless somebody else come in the chat and want to add to it, I'll be live tomorrow as well, man. And like I said, I'll try to write down some questions and have some questions ready to go for the chat tomorrow. I'll also post questions on our Samurai Kennels Facebook page so that we can chime in on those questions as well, fellas. But if y'all will go ahead and plug y'all social media or anything y'all want to plug, and now I'll go ahead and wrap it up for the day, and we'll pick this back up tomorrow.
Yeah, you know what it is. It's your boy Big A, man. Back in here like I left my wallet and keys, man. Same time, same place. It is what it is.
Man, I'm finna go to work, man.
Yeah, nah,
Yeah,
for real.
buddy. Nah, sports
Yeah,
And
supreme,
salute
man.
you,
Y'all be
brothers.
cool, man.
Salute, salute.
Much love to the panel, man. Appreciate y'all, man. See y'all
Appreciate
next time.
Likewise. I just want to, formally introduce myself to the panel and the dog community, I guess, the family, and I appreciate all you brothers do and bring to the community.
yes, sir.
Hey, I just made a new Instagram page. If y'all want to follow that, constant pressure underscore home.
yeah.
Constant pressure kennels underscore home. Go ahead and follow me on there, man. I'm gonna be adding some new content. Good looking dogs. Because that's all I'm posting. And it ain't gonna be nothing more than that. So if y'all end up checking out pretty dogs, man, go ahead and hit the Instagram.
Constant
Yeah,
pressure underscore on.
I'm going on
Yes,
there right.
sir.
I'm
All
going on there right
right.
now. I'll be live
Hey,
in
SFK Fred put his y'all go follow underscore SFK underscore Fred on Instagram too. They be on that politicking and doing this.
SFK underscore Fred. I'm gonna hit that right now.
Yes, sir.
Much
so
love.
let me get that before I even get up off here, man. Oh, I got it. I got you, constant pressure. Let me go ahead and do that. And then so I just followed. I'm about to go ahead and like a couple of them. You know what I'm saying? Because I already see some phenomenal animals on there, man. Who does your photography? Good lord. Yo,
Yeah,
that
that's funny you said that, man. I use my iPhone, man, and all my partners
Yeah, buddy.
they make fun of me because my partners make fun of me there because they say, man, that motherfucker Eli, he'll lay down to take a picture.
yeah.
and
Yeah, so yeah, for sure. I
S-
appreciate y'all, man. I'll holler at y'all in a sec.
yes,
All
sir.
right.
All right, go.
SFK, I'm already following you, brother, and I'm gonna go ahead and like some of these photos, man, because yeah, man, support those who support y'all, man, and support those who are doing the things to keep these dogs alive and well, man, alive and
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
But yeah, I'm gonna get up off here, man. I already did the Christian watchword. I don't think we ain't got to go back and retouch that, man. Uh, Brother Dicky, if you need anything, man, give me a holler, bro. Don't sit there in the cold, man. If y'all need supplies, man, we don't have to do this stuff online, man. You actually got my number. You can reach me without all this internet stuff, man. And
yeah.
shouts out to Swamp Thing Melee, man. All y'all brothers be safe, stay dangerous, keep those blades sharp, and that defense tight. And with that being said, man, until we meet again, brothers, salute.
Salute.